Hello, everybody, and welcome to the primer for PSL Season 3. Dean and I are here today to give you a bit of a update on the things that you need to know before going into playing competitive Pokemon every week for probably the next 3 to 4 months. And, important information. And then finally, we're going to finish out with a mock draft. So that is going to be a ton of fun, and I hope you guys all find this very educational and useful as you're preparing for your draft on. Currently, we have it slated for the 24th, but it's not locked in stone yet. Anyway.
Close, though.
Yeah, it's getting close. But yeah, do you want to add anything, Dean?
No, that's a good introduction. Let's get going.
All right, so to start, I'm just going to go over some mechanical changes from Gen 5 to Gen 6. The big changes are changes to the type chart. There's a new type, Fairy, and Steel and Dragon types have received somewhat significant nerfs. There's a new mechanic called Mega Evolution. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with this. And then there are kind of some lower level, or I guess higher level changes to specific moves. Moves kind of across the board have been made slightly weaker. You can see that on the right here with moves like Blizzard dropping from 120 power to 110, Draco Meteor from 140 to 130. In general, yeah.
Some of the biggest ones are like the Bolt Beam plus Flamethrower trio. Those are all down to 90 from 95. And like that doesn't sound like a big base power nerf, but every mon uses those, every special mon. So like it's always going to be affecting your games.
Yeah, in general, Pokemon are going to potentially feel slightly tankier, even though we have the most powerful offensive threats ever here. There's also some weather nerfs. Drizzle, Drought, and Sandstream have been changed to only set weather for 5 turns. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the type chart here. So Fairy, as I said, it's the big new type. Important things to know, it's weak to Poison and Steel. It's immune to Dragon. It resists Dark, Bug, and Fighting. Steel type lost its Dark and Ghost resistance, and Dragon gained a Fairy weakness. So those are all the important changes to the type chart. Of course, the type chart is kind of the whole point of the game, so definitely make sure you understand it before you start playing. You don't want to be...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Just notably, like, dragons on the whole just aren't nearly as dominant as they were. They now have something that is just completely immune to them and another weakness on top of that. So, like, just, like, in general, I wouldn't prioritize drafting a dragon in the same way that you would in some of the earlier gens. And another thing that's not listed on the Gen 6 changes is that this is the gen that crits go from double damage to 1.5,
yes,
which also contributes to just making everything feel a lot like just takes the edge off a lot of the strongest attackers, because now your tank can a lot more comfortably take 2 without risk of getting like just destroyed by a crit.
Yeah, that is a great point. I actually forgot about that change, but that is also another thing that makes this gen feel a lot tankier in general. All right, let's go to the next part here. So some important roles that you want to be considering while you are making your picks. These are just like things that every team more or less needs. Maybe not necessarily all of these, but they need a lot of these, right? Like you're wanting to be if this is like a set of check boxes, you want your team to be checking the majority of these. So the principal one that you need to be aware of is hazards, setters, and removers. Of course, hazards like Stealth Rock and Spikes are the core of the singles metagame, so you want to be make sure that you have a way to either set them or deal with them. Fortunately, hazard setters are quite common, but removers are a little bit harder to come by. So definitely be thinking about a hazard remover, particularly if you are taking a Pokemon in round 1 who is weak to hazards.
The addition of defog really opens up the field, because before you just had rapid spin and there was literally one good use, maybe two if you count Starmie, but defog is a lot more commonly distributed to actual good Pokemon with wings. So it's easier to get it on your team. I wouldn't stress about like cramming it for your first 2 picks or whatever, but like it's definitely one of the top priorities to keep in mind to build your team out.
Yeah. Another important thing, having a good priority user. Of course, singles is a lot about like setup sweepers, and priority users are just something that's going to be good for every team to have as just like a panic button. You know, if my opponent gets in and sets up 2 Dragon Dances, at least I know I have Scizor Bullet Punch, or
with Ice Shard.
Probably. Yeah, Weevil with Ice Shard is the Pokemon on this graphic. Scald is a big thing in Gen 6. So like I said, things are going to feel a little bit slower paced in comparison to Gen 5, especially because we have more people in the league, so the overall quality of the teams is going to be lower. But Scald is kind of like the easy button attack in this generation, or one of the easy button attacks, where you can click it and almost guaranteed make good progress because you're clicking a strong move that also has a high chance to burn. And of course, physical attackers in particular hate being burned, and it's almost like they die if they get burned. It's like they're basically just a sacrifice at that point.
Even your common water resists, like dragon types, commonly are physical attackers, so they really don't want to take this 30% burn. And like that can really just mess up your entire game from that point, from one wrong click. So it's really important to have something that can just not worry about taking those scalds, whether that's like a water immunity, which is a water absorb Volcanion, or just like any resist to water type that doesn't care about a burn. So like a special attacker or a wall.
Yeah, so that's why I have Keldeo listed here. Keldeo and Dean mentioned the other premium Scald, Spammer, and Absorber, Volcanion. They can switch in on Scalds, and then they're happy to press Scald as well. The other thing, like I mentioned, there was a huge buff to knockoff in this generation. It went from being 20 base power to being 65 base power, and it deals 1.5x damage if you're it hits and your opponent is holding an item. So this is the other easy button progress making attack in this generation. If you can switch a knockoff user in for little to no cost, then you can just press knockoff, and it's a very safe button to press in that it will almost guarantee that you are making progress. Either you're crippling your opponent's Pokemon for the rest of the battle by removing an item. It's just a strong move in general. That's why Weavile is here. Weavile is a strong knockoff user. Tornadus Therian is a strong knockoff user. Kind of as examples. And then also you want to have a Pokemon that doesn't mind getting hit by knockoff. So maybe it doesn't care about its item that much. Probably it needs to be a dark resist. Yeah.
The other thing that can make you not care about knockoff is being a mega, because megas, while they do receive the additional damage from knockoff, they don't lose their mega stone. They don't not be mega anymore. So and oftentimes megas will just get that 100 plus BST just distributed in random places, including defense. So like even Metagross can take like knockoffs pretty handily, even though he's now weak to that move.
I mean, I don't think you necessarily want to be switching your Metagross in on knockoff, but
bro, Clefable spamming knockoff on my team, I'd love to bring Metagross in on that. Please
that's true.
Bring him in.
That's true.
So it's not necessarily for the aggressive knockoff users, but it's more for the like kind of fat users of knockoff that just want to click it to make free progress while they're taking any hit, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, the next one that we're going to talk about, another dark type move that's important to note, is a Pursuit Trapper. Mega Alakazam is one of the premier offensive threats in the metagame, and so if you're playing against the guy with Mega Alakazam, you probably want a Pursuit Trapper because it can kind of checkmate the Mega Alakazam. It's some safety so that you know that it's not just going to come in at the wrong time and then just completely annihilate you. But these are pretty rare, so you do definitely want to be taking the premier ones relatively highly. Weavile is a good example. Weavile really kind of actually the star of this first kind of set of
he's a really I
roles.
describe him as toolsy from like basketball, where he just has a lot of these unique moves that do a very specific thing, and they're all just on one guy with a great attack and a great speed.
Yep.
So he can fill a lot of holes on an offense at least for a team.
Well, it's even good in semi-stall teams too, because usually those teams will have good slow pivots that can bring it in safely. But so Weavile is just a really good mon. I think it's probably going to be taken in the first round of our mock draft, if I had to guess. Next thing that every team needs, a steel type. Steel types are busted, man. Like, I know they got nerfed, but look at how many resists they have. What is this? 8? 9? 9 resists? They are the most important part of a team's defensive core. Something that you generally want to have in any Pokemon team is a Pokemon, or you want a Pokemon that can resist any type of move. Maybe there will be one or two specific types that slip through the cracks, but generally you want to have someone who can resist any type of attacker, and a steel type is just going to get you so far towards that because it has so many resistances.
Yeah, really nothing to add. Steel types are gonna be like just the core of your team as soon as you draft one that's like halfway decent. Like obviously, I'm gonna call out a Pokemon in particular here, but like Cobalion is not a real steel type, because he just doesn't like. I don't know. That was probably a tangent. We'll get to Cobalion later, but he'll come up.
That's interesting. I like Cobalion.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I actually think it's that he's some really nice roll compression. But regardless, we'll talk about that more later. Next thing, this one I would say is probably the least important of these, but a good fairy type is definitely something that's high priority. Fairy is a very strong defensive and offensive type. It is only weak to 2 relatively poor attacking types, and almost nothing resists it. At least it's fire and steel and poison, which are not generally considered strong attacking, or which other than steel, I guess steel and poison are both strong defensive types. But point is, fairy type moves are very spammable. Fairy type is a good typing. Good fairy types are something you want to be taking aggressively. That's why Clefable is here. Clefable has a good chance of being a high pick. But yeah, the next one is a ground immunity. Earthquake is distributed to every freaking Pokemon in the game. You need to have a Pokemon that can switch in on Earthquake for free. It is a really broken move unless you have a Pokemon that can punish it. 100 accuracy, 100 power, especially coming off of someone who has stab. Earthquake is busted. You need a ground immunity.
It's probably the GOAT Pokemon move. I mean, there's a discussion to be had there, but I mean, just it's been in the game for as long, and you've always needed to have an answer for it as long as it's been in the game. And there really aren't other ground type threats. Now, I will say Spikes is a lot more common in this gen, so that this also
True.
plays into that, where Spikes deal ground type damage to the mod. It's like a fixed amount, but it's based on your ground resistance as a typing. So just another thing to keep in mind other than just Earthquake, I guess.
Yeah. Fortunately, these are pretty. There's a lot of these, but if they're important. an electric immunity. This one might not be quite as intuitive, but electric is still a very strong attacking type, and in particular, the move Volt Turn has become very, very widely distributed in Gen 6. And
Volt Switch and U-Turn.
Or sorry, yeah, Volt Switch specifically. Sorry, Volt Switch, not Volt Turn. But yeah, Volt Switch is very widely distributed. Pivoting moves in general are another one of these easy button,
free progress.
Yeah, free progress type moves. You want to have a Pokemon that can punish that. Ground types, of course, are immune to electric, and also ground is it's a really good type. I think, Dean and I have talked a little bit about the draft theory, but I think that good ground types are going to occupy a majority of the first round picks in our mock draft. But electric immunity is good. You want to be able to punish Volt Switch. You don't want Mega Manectric to just run over your team. Electric is actually it's kind of like ground, where it's like a really busted attacking type.
It's one of the best, for sure.
Yeah, with the exception of that, it has this big tons of Pokemon are immune to it, right? So you want to make sure that you have an electric immunity.
Maybe not necessarily tons of Pokemon are immune to it, but the ones that are very, very common on regular team builds. In a draft format where those Pokemon are scarce, it's going to be important to prioritize for sure.
True. That's an excellent point. There's a very much high positional scarcity on good electric immunities.
We'll get into that in a second.
Yeah. Pivots. Like I said, I just talked about Volt Switch. U-Turn is the other big pivoting move here. These are moves that are essentially free progressed, especially if you have Pokemon like Tornadus Therian, who is able to pivot and heal itself, and then bring in a good matchup for your opponent. It's just very strong. It's very easy to press. And so if Pokemon that have pivoting moves are something that is important to keep in mind. Also, another thing that's important to keep in mind is slow pivots. These are much rarer, but slow pivots are very good because they give your squishy Pokemon the ability to enter for free. Weavile is a really good example of a Pokemon that loves having the support of a slow pivot because its defensive typing is so bad, it really struggles to enter safely. But when it does enter, Weavile hits like a truck and makes a ton of progress. So pivots are great to have.
Yeah, the best example of like a slow pivot I can come up with off the dome is like a defensively invested Mew, which is something that's really powerful in draft. Like it's just like
also Rotom.
Oh yeah, duh. That's
yeah,
slow pivot. But just basically being able to safely take whatever is coming in front of you and then react to that at your speed, it gives you all the momentum in the game, and that's really where the power in pivots lies. That's the progress that we're making, is that we're getting like basically free reign to pick our matchup in response to whatever the opponent does.
Yep, exactly. Another important thing to have is a status absorber. This is a recurring theme, but status moves are easy button clicks, right? They make more or less guaranteed progress. Thundurus comes in, it wants to press Thunder Wave because it knows that almost no one on the enemy team likes to be paralyzed. And in the case of a lot of Pokemon, being paralyzed is almost as good as being dead. Like if Weavile gets paralyzed, for example.
Yeah.
Weavile sucks. Is actually useless. So you want to have a Pokemon that can switch in on a plethora of status moves without caring. Clefable is a great example of one of these Pokemon. Gliscor. This one's a bit unintuitive, but actually Excadrill is a good status absorber because it can switch in on Toxic and on Paralysis moves, but it can't switch in on Burn moves, so that's something important to consider. But that's something that you're definitely going to want.
So in this gen, electric types gain the ability to be fully immune to Thunderwave and just paralysis in general.
Yes, and fire types are immune to burn as well now,
And then
right?
poison, yeah, and
And
then
poison
poison
is
types are immune to poison. So so
I
like
forgot about
even if
that.
you don't have one of these catch-all mons that like a Magic Guard, a Clefable, or Toxic Heal, Gliscor, there are still ways to play around this, but it's so much easier if you're able to secure one of those just do it all mons in the early rounds.
Yep. The last three on this list, these are pretty self-explanatory. You want fast Pokemon. You want breakers. What I mean by breaker is a Pokemon that comes in and hits hard and kind of makes progress via damage, like breaks your opponent's defensive core without needing setup. And then you want a cleaner, and a cleaner is kind of the other half of a breaker, where a breaker breaks down your opponent's offensive core once, or not, breaks down your opponent's defensive core. Once the defensive core is broken, or that Pokemon's specific checks are done, the cleaner comes in and wins. I kind of mentioned this earlier. Alakazam is probably the best example of just like an insane cleaner in this metagame. It's also a pretty solid breaker as well, actually. But
you'll often find that the best, most broken mons can do both, but
yeah.
That's what makes them broken, right? But in general, the best way I like to think of this dichotomy is like the difference between choice band or specs versus scarf. Whereas scarf, it's pretty illustrative in the item descriptions. I mean, like the ones that make you stronger, they're gonna make you hit hard and basically mean that you have less switch-ins, so that you can just do a lot of damage even if they're getting resistant on your hits, whereas you're probably not going to be able to just go through everything with one move. A scarf mon, on the other hand, can probably get through a lot of like the entire team if they outspeed it all. They just need everything on the enemy team to be a little bit weakened by a breaker, if that makes sense. Now that's not like obviously for every case, but that's just how I like to think of those two roles. And like everything that we've discussed in the last like 5 points, I'd say these roles are more fluid. Obviously, they aren't literally ground type, steel type, whatever.
Well, I would say steel type is not that fluid. You really should have a steel type on every team.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying like ground and steel types are very solid things.
Oh, okay, okay.
Those are very definable, right? Mm-hmm. But like a breaker and a cleaner, it's more fluid. A mon can serve either role with the exact same set, depending on the context of the game.
Yeah.
But you do need to make sure that you have mons on your team with high attack stats to be able to do damage.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it, at least.
I think another good example of this, how these differ, is Superior versus Weavile. So like I said, Weavile comes in and is like going to make a ton of progress towards breaking your opponent's defensive core, whereas Superior, the first turn that Superior comes in, it's going to press Leaf Storm, and it's going to barely... it's barely going to do any damage. It's not going to break very well, but let's say, hypothetically, if you had Weavile come in and press Knock Off a few times and got rid of your opponent's defensive core's leftovers, and all of a sudden their whole team is chunked, all of a sudden Superior finds an angle to come in, presses Leaf Storm, and wins the game instantly. So these are just important things to keep in mind. This is kind of how competitive singles works. Some other important concepts that I want to go over. So role compression. That is the merging of multiple roles into a single team slot. I think that a common theme that you will find between Dean and I's highest picks is that they are mashing a bunch of these roles into one single mon. Obviously, you can only have 6 Pokemon on a team in any given battle, so you need to have Pokemon that are satisfying several of these roles, and those are going to be the best and most valuable Pokemon in the context of a draft. Another concept is positional scarcity. So this is how the supply versus demand of a role impacts that role's value. And a good example of this is fast fighting type mega evolutions. There are 3 of these. There's Gallade, there's Mega Medicham, and there's Mega Lopunny, and like realistically, do you care which of these 3 you receive? I would argue it's going to take a very specific team to care between which of these three they get. So even though Mega Lopunny and maybe Mega Medicham as well, they rank very highly on the viability rankings. They are
All three
not.
of them are ranked. They're all good Pokemon.
Yeah, they're all good Pokemon for sure, but they're not going to be first and probably not even second round picks.
Yeah, exactly. In this format where it's really immaterial, like who's coming in. You know, like I have the rest of my team drafted. It doesn't matter to me who's clicking high jump kick. If it's Lopunny or Medicham, you know, it's probably gonna kill whatever's in front of it. It's more about how the rest of your team around that will probably more realistically determine your success in that match.
Yep. That is exactly right. So right now, the draft time is Saturday, January 24th. There will also be a party at me and Elena's house after. I also want to throw this out there for anyone who wants to. I want to have like a $15 side pot where it's like highest placing participant in the side pot receives the pot. Probably it's just going to be me and Dean in this. We'll see though. I would also be down to do like a non-Dean and Ethan like highest placing pot if you guys want to all bet among yourselves, and that way there can be someone else that feels like a big winner at the end. Anyway, we can talk about bets and pricing at the day of the draft more, but I would like to have some bets because it's fun. It puts some skin in the game. All right, so now Dean and I are going to begin our mock draft, and freaking wish us luck. This is going to take a lot of brain power and a lot of time. So we are going to go 2 minutes per pick. We will be alternating teams, essentially. We'll have 8 rounds of picks. This is different from the regular draft where there'll be 10 rounds. And then in the final round, we'll each just select 3 Pokemon at once. This is because otherwise we're going to be here for 4 hours.
We might already be. You know, I don't know exactly what I've signed up for, but
I really hope we can get this mock draft section down to below 2 hours. That's my hope.
For sure, and that's my hope too. I think after we get past like the first couple rounds, things will become a lot easier. But
I actually disagree.
Oh no.
I think picks 4 and 5 are extremely challenging, but we have a timer, so I'm gonna bring that up.
Can you actually pause the recording for a minute? And you got the timer, right?
All right, I just want to throw a quick disclaimer in here. Dean and I are going to be under serious time pressure. In the actual draft, you're going to have at least another minute per pick. And, like, also, you're not going to be having to juggle 6 different teams in your head all at once. So you can probably make a lot better decisions than us, especially as we get deeper into the pool here. And I don't think that you guys should just, especially as we get later in the draft, just take this as gospel. Also, if you have like a specific Pokemon that you like, just take that Pokemon, especially if that Pokemon is like decent.
Like if you have a thing for Mega Lopunny and you take it in the first round, we're all gonna look at you and know what you think. But I mean, you can't really argue against it.
Yeah. I would not recommend taking Mega Lopunny in the first round. I'm just gonna throw that out there, but you can. You can if you really, really want Mega Lopunny. So, okay. I am going to start the timer. I will be drafting for Jenny, Garrett, Dean, Max. Jenny, Garrett, Dean, Max, Chris, and Daniel. I am not 100% certain that Daniel will be and Max will be participating, so we may have less people. But if they are,
that's fair.
But I'm just going to assume that they are participating for now. just know that if there's only 10 people, it's going to be a lot easier, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm going to start the timer.
And I'll be drafting for Ethan, Jacob, River, Kevin, Auden, and Josiah.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. I will be starting the timer in 3, 2, 1. And, alright, I'm picking for Jenny. And so Jenny has told me that they want Pokemon that are both good and cute. Which they exist, but they're a little bit tougher to come by in round 1. And Jenny might disagree with this pick, but I am going to take Excadrill because the other alternative is Clefable, I think. I think you could argue that Excadrill is cute. He has a cute pink button nose. He is made of blades. That is arguably not that cute, but...
he's a mole.
He's a mole. He's really small. And also, I think it's like a fucking awesome first pick. Like,
it's definitely a great basis for your team. Yeah,
going back to the roles we talked about, Excadrill fills so many roles in one. It is a hazard setter, a hazard remover, a electric immunity. It is a steel type. It can break really well. With the right team, it can even clean really well. It's a super, super good Pokemon. Also, like I said, it's a decent status absorber, too. That's definitely not primarily what I'm thinking about when it comes to Excadrill. All right, I'm going to reset the timer, and Dean, you are now on the clock.
All right. Well, with this pick, I'm in the interest of keeping it brief. I'm just going to throw Mega Metagross in there. And also regular Metagross. I should clarify that if you draft them on, you get its Megas, if it has any, as well as the regular form. Basically, any form that can change in battle, you are included with a draft pick. And I think Metagross is just like the premier, he's just a big motherfucker, man. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah,
like,
he's 700 base stat total.
He can tank like pretty much anything you throw at him and probably kill at whatever's standing in front of him right back. He can set up rocks if you want him to. He can just go through entire teams with a power-up punch set. You just get him one free turn and it's gone. Yeah, I just think he's probably the strongest offensive threat in this meta as it stands.
Yep, I have no notes. I think that he is. I think so. There are going to be a few examples of picks in the first round that don't have stellar roll compression, but we consider them first round picks anyway, just because they're so offensively strong. Metagross. Yeah, no, he has really great roll compression, but he's also just offensively insane. Just off the wall, crazy hard hitter. Okay, I'm going to reset the timer and begin the pick for Garrett, who I already I know that Garrett's favorite Pokemon, or at least one of his favorite Pokemon, is Volcarona. I don't love Volcarona as the third pick of the draft, but I do view Volcarona as being a worthy Dean's got it for me. As being a worthy first-round pick. So even though I do view Volcarona as a bit of a reach here at 3, I don't hate taking Volcarona in the first round. And so, yeah.
Volcarona is one of those mons that requires very specific support. You can't have rocks on the field if you want to use this mon. But that's something that you can fix. There, like we said, hazard removal is more common in this, and just making sure you got your guy. Now no one else can have Volcarona, there's something to be said for sure.
Yeah, I also just think it's like insanely offensively threatening, right? Like This is a Pokemon that when you see it in the team preview, you know that to a certain extent the game will be about making sure that this Pokemon does not win the game if it gets a free turn, right? Or just never giving this Pokemon the free turn, because it's insanely scary. It's so powerful. It is very, very good. You are going to need a very solid hazard removal Pokemon to go along with it. and also by selecting it, you're kind of revealing your hand that you want to be a more hyper offense strategy. So like I said, this is why I don't think of a Volcarona as a great third pick, like great 103. But I think that it's worth a first round pick. And Garrett, if you want to take Volcarona here, I think that's completely reasonable.
Yeah, like as you mentioned, it kind of shoehorns you, but on the other side of the coin, it focuses your draft and makes clear what you're looking for, while other people are probably going to be waffling and might make suboptimal picks because of that.
Yep, 100%. All right, Dean, you're on the board.
All right, I got Landorus T coming in here. It's not it's I don't have to think that hard about it. He just compresses pretty much like he's worth like 3 months to your team, if I had to say. Like he's a ground immunity, he's an electric immunity, he's got intimidate, so he can check physical threats very easily. He has U-turn, he can do it slow, he can do it fast. He has rocks. He
has knockoff.
And knockoff, and to not even speak of rock polish and swords dance, which will let him sweep if you really need that in your construct. So yeah, he's just the definition of a do-it-all mod. So I really don't think that you have to think that hard about taking him early if he's up.
Yep, I agree completely. With that analysis, he's awesome. All right, I will reset the timer, and now Dean, you're on the clock, and I'm gonna take something very similar. I'm going to take Garchomp here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Where is Garchomp? It's done. There we go.
Right at the, yeah, sorry.
Alphabetic. So Garchomp, a lot like Landorus T. It's a lot of roll compression. It's a super strong Pokemon, just a ton of stats. And it's a great ground type, which, as we've said, is something that is in relatively short supply. It can be your rock setter. It can be your sweeper. It can be your cleaner. It can be your revenge killer. It just has a strong ass earthquake. It does it all.
The big 3 or 4, depending on how you evaluate the big 3 ground types. The thing that sets Garchomp apart from the others is that it's just easily the fastest. You can run it with a scarf even on top of the 102 base speed, and that's you really can't understate how valuable it is to just be fast.
Yeah.
In a Pokemon game.
Also, it kind of, this is a separate role, but it is a contact punisher, which is something that is very rare, and I don't think it's really that, like, I don't think you can reliably get it and still have like a good team. But like if you're like building a real team for Gen 6 or Gen 9 OU, having a Pokemon that can punish your opponent for pressing U-turn is super valuable. And Garchomp,
with skin and Rocky Helmet.
Yeah, and Garchomp is kind of the premium version of that. So all right, Dean, you are on the board in 3, 2, 1, picking for River.
Okay. This one I have to consider a couple things here if I just want to pick for like basically roll compression versus raw power. And I think I'm just gonna go for what I think River might actually pick also, which is Superior.
Yep,
Superior,
I agree.
With access to Contrary is just one of the similar to Volcarona, can just get out of hand within 1 to 2 turns and just completely take over a game from that point. So when you see it at lead select, it's pretty much you have to be thinking about how to deal with this one. And really, it's kind of it's 1 or 2 note and how it does that, but it's a very strong thing to do, which is Contrary Leaf Storms. It can be scarfed, it can kind of do something a little stallier with like Glare or Leech Seed or whatever, but yeah, it's gonna contrary you and it's gonna get really strong. So yeah, that's Superior.
Yep.
Grass is not a great type to just have as the core of your team. It's not really gonna it's not compressing many rolls, but it, like I said, it's
just very offensively threatening.
It's very, very good at its one roll.
Yeah. I think that I agree completely that this is what I think River mentioned as like the only one of the kind of top tier Pokemon that she particularly liked.
But yeah.
Yeah. So and now the picks are a little bit tougher. I think that these like kind of first few picks are somewhat easy. I'm picking for Max here, and I need to start the timer for Max. And I could take Gliscor. I do like Gliscor a lot. Obviously, it does everything that we've talked about for the premium ground types. But I also like Weavile, Alakazam, Clefable. They're all very solid. I think I'm going to take Gliscor just because, for me personally, I feel pretty comfortable. Like, this is what I would pick, not necessarily what I think you should pick, Max, but I feel comfortable having Gliscor on a team. I like locking in a premium ground type. You could, like I said, you could argue that this is a bit of a reach for this Pokemon, but I don't know. I think Gliscor is very solid. It's deceptively strong. It's a good status absorber. It's a good hazard setter. It might get defog. I think it gets defog, though you don't really. So defog removes. Oh, not yet. Okay. But anyway, like it's just a good mon. It's very tanky, and it does still compress a lot of rolls. So I'm going to select it here, and I will pass to Dean.
Well, just wanted to add, like, it looks like when you put it next to the mons that we've selected around it, it looks kind of out of place. But I mean, real ones know that Gliscor it can really have the same impact that like a Superior has on a game if it's in the right position. But also just like from a team building standpoint, yeah, when you look at the rest of the available mons. The really premium ground types are starting to dry up, so it's totally fair to secure that, especially if it's what you're comfortable team building around.
Yeah. I don't think that you have to do this, Max. I think that's very important to note.
The comfort is a big thing.
All right. Yeah. Now I'll put you on the board for or on the clock for Kevin.
For Kevin, I think I've received a letter about what he needs to pick, but I don't think it's really much of a reach or a bad pick at all. And that's Scizor. I think, especially when you consider that Mega Scizor is also one of the best megas in the meta. This is just having the optionality of having either on your team and no one getting either of them on theirs is really nice. And just as a mon, Scizor can do a lot. It does get defog. It can run some of the more bulky sets that like abuse the fact that it's a steel type and has like pretty nice defensive base stats, especially as a mega. Or you can really lean into the sweeper with a band or just like a swords dance set. Having that priority bullet punch is always nice. Yeah, it's just a really good mon, and I don't think you're wrong to build your team around it.
Yeah, I think there was a time where I had Scizor as like a early second, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, I actually just don't think that there are enough like really great first round picks to justify taking Scizor over. And Kevin, I think that because you're not at the absolute end of the draft, if you want Scizor, you really should take it with the first round pick. Yeah, it's a great mon. It is the premier priority user. It is both great as a mega and as a standard form. No notes. I love the Scizor selection here. All right. And now I'm on the board for Chris. And once again, we're starting to have some more difficult decisions here. I think that I like Alakazam, Weavile, and Clefable a lot for the remaining first round picks. I think of those, my personal favorite is Weavile. So I will go ahead and lock that in, Chris, as your selection. But again, I also think that Keldeo and Volcanion are also absolutely stellar picks at the end of the first round, just getting the premium Scald Spammers. But I think that what Weavile provides is just very unique. You can get some discount Scald Spammers and Absorbers, But when it comes to Weavile, you're getting the strongest knockoff in the game, and you're also getting great priority, a great mon if you want to build towards hyper offense, or if you want to build in a bulkier, slower strategy. But again, you're going to need a slow pivot, so that's going to be something I'm paying attention to. Is I want to get a slow pivot with this Weavile.
Yeah, especially as we get past like these kind of. I mean, Volcarona was the third pick, but as the kind of flawless mons come off the board, you have to kind of start thinking about, okay, this mon is really good. I'm gonna draft it, but like, what are his weaknesses? What do I need to draft next to kind of shore up what could make this mon not great? You know?
Yep, absolutely. All right, you're on the clock for Auden.
Um. All right. For Auden, I think this is just I have a personal fondness for this mon. So I can't see it slide this far without being taken. Clefable is just like so fucking strong,
For sure,
especially
for sure.
like it was really good. I mean, it was good in prior gens with Magic Guard, which is just one of the best abilities in the game. But giving it the fairy typing, which is probably the best type in the game, it's one of the only good fairies in the meta. And just having that when no one else can have it is really nice. I keep going back to that, but it's that's what scarcity is all about, man. And what it can do for your team, it really is mostly a defensive mon. It can set up rocks, it can heal itself, it can wish pass, it can really just tank all the hits that you want a fairy type on your team to take. This is like kind of the fairy, if I may.
Yeah, this is the best fairy by a mile. There's no question. I personally don't like taking Weavile early in the first round, or not, sorry, Clefable early in the first round, because Clefable is mostly only going to excel in slower strategies.
Yeah.
But late in the first, you can guarantee another very strong defensive piece as we come around the bend here, and so
Yeah.
I definitely like Clefable as a late first round pick, and I think that this is a very solid one to make
Yeah,
here.
that's something I wanted to touch on with just regards to like draft strategy. People like with Max and Rivers picks kind of stranded in the middle of the snake are not going to be able to reliably secure like very specific Pokemon like a Rotom Wash who has a unique typing, for their strategy. So you kind of have to be more willing to accept like draft towards a strategy that can accept subpar pieces. You know what I mean? Where like if you drafted Volcarona at Rivers pick, it would probably be bad because it would be harder to secure like good hazard removal. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Um, uh,
Whereas if you have like you're at the end of the snake like Josiah, you can take Skarmory and then just instantly take Blissey with it, or
yeah,
Chansey rather than
true.
this gen.
Though probably you can just wait.
No,
Yeah.
for sure. Just as an example of common synergies, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
totally. Okay. Uh, Timer ticking for Daniel, and again, I think that there are a lot of good picks here. Um, and it's really a matter of taste. I think I'm gonna take Alakazam because once again we are at the tail end of the draft here. Whoops, I need to delete this guy. And Alakazam is a freaking beast, man. This thing has 170 special attack.
And
Uh,
like 150 speed,
and
right?
150 speed. Yeah, and so this is just
Ultra Beast numbers before Ultra Beast came out.
yeah. I mean, this is just a ridiculous offensive threat. We could be wrong, and maybe this Pokemon should be taken
Higher?
way higher, like just because it's so offensively strong. But I think it's still reasonable that it's definitely I think a first round pick quality
Yeah.
Pokemon. So I'll take Alakazam and put you on the clock for the Josiah's next two picks.
All right. Things kind of start to get dicey here. It's hard for me to say with absolute certainty that this is correct, but I mean, I'm gonna stop prefacing all my picks with that because I think we're well past that point now. After like picks 5, we're past that point. I'm gonna take Mega Diancie. I am just really high on fairies, if you couldn't tell. And this is the other really good one. It's not quite as I guess, just like as much of a glue mon as Clefable is. It's a little bit more specific in its usage, but in that usage, it is singular. It gets Magic Bounce, which is it's the only good user in this gen of Magic Bounce, which if you don't know is an ability that reflects all status moves, including things like Stealth Rock and Spikes. So that kind of leads you. It lets you forego the need for traditional hazard control and play a more up-tempo aggressive style. Now, with that being said, it is a rock type, which is one of the worst types in the game. So notably, it's weak to steel, which is fairy is already weak to. And so in that spirit, with the snake pick, I'm going to select Skarmory. So basically, what this does, in my thinking, is it gives you that really good steel type, one of the only ones left in the draft, and it lets you get your own hazards, which Diancie has Stealth Rock, obviously, but Skarmory gets Spikes, which is better. It's just like having a really good fairy and a really good steel that complement each other nicely with the ways they want to play. I think can be really good. Now, obviously, Skarmory can be used on more stall constructs, but in my mind, this draft is definitely offensively slanted with the Diancie, so the Skarmory is going to be more intending to get spikes up than probably stall.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. You also, I think, did both of those picks in 2 minutes, so that was sick. And I'm actually gonna copy you here, and I'm gonna take Ferrothorn, which is basically
That's the other one.
Yeah, very similar theory to what Dean just described, where so Diancie, it's like Alakazam, it's like Metagross, it's just like a stat monster. It's this crazy offensive threat.
10 speed for something that looks like it should be a tank,
Yeah, and it also has tank stats. Like Diancie is a monster. Ferrothorn is very similar to Skarmory. Ferrothorn is going to provide spikes to wear down your opponent, and is also going to provide knockoff support. It's a steel type. Ferrothorn is awesome. I don't think I need to wax poetic about what makes Ferrothorn such a great defensive Pokemon. Also a contact punisher like Garchomp. It really only has like 2 significant, I think it literally only has 2 weaknesses. It's a great Pokemon, and I think that it pairs super duper well with Alakazam. And now, yeah.
With these 2 picks, another thing that's added is like just taking one of the biggest counters to your round 1 pick.
True.
In round 2. So like Alakazam would be heavily limited by Ferrothorn. You'd be forced to run like an HP Fire. Now you don't have to deal with it at all. For Auden's pick, I think I really want to take something that can help with the like kind of slower paced playstyle that Clefable encourages. That kind of takes advantage of it and can deal some damage because obviously Clefable's not nearly as strong as anything else in this round. I think with that said, I kind of want to take. There's a couple good ones. I think I want to take a good steel type as well, so I'm going to go with Bisharp.
It's a good pick.
Bisharp is just one of the best offensive. Obviously, he's just one of the strongest mons. He has a really strong knockoff. He takes away a steel type to help deal with Clefable, and also just gives you a steel type. He's not as defensively oriented as something like Scizor or Metagross, but like he can still take the off hit that you need, and it just gives you something really strong and hard hitting that can pair well with a slower paced playstyle, which is what I was looking for.
And it has priority as well. It can deal with a runaway sweeper. I'm gonna let this I'm actually we'll do it because I don't want to be here forever. So this is tough. Weavile is a Pokemon that really likes having pivot support and likes having other offensive threats. It just likes being a super offensive team. And maybe I think that these Pokemon are kind of falling a little late, so I think I'm gonna take Keldeo here.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next pick if he wasn't snatched up here.
Yeah,
It's just a little for him to fall.
yep, it is. It's just a great value as like a second round pick. Keldeo has a monster stat spread. It's a killer Scald spammer. It's very fast. It's gonna go well with Weavile in a offense core, and it also is even solid in slower, more defensive cores. Keldeo is just a really nice do-it-all type of Pokemon, and offers good roll compression.
He's strong. It's fucking Keldeo, man. I feel like it shouldn't need explained.
Yeah.
Similar to Rotom Wash. So you took the water type I wanted, so I'm just gonna get this next best one. Rotom Wash just offers so much roll compression. He's one of the original goats of it. As soon as he got that water type, he's got a ground immunity, and then just a bulky water is something that a lot of teams just rely on as just this glue mon that can just deal with a lot of threats. And so getting probably the best one left in I don't know if it's the best one, but it works really well for this team, and it kind of makes a Volturn core with Scizor. So I mean, it does make a Volturn. It is probably one of the best historical Volturn cores in the game. So getting these two together really makes me happy.
Yeah.
And they can play offensively, defensively. It's really versatile. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's very solid. I personally, when I was doing mock drafts before this, was more of a fan of kind of greeting here and taking just taking a crappy Rotom late. But I also think that this is just like kind of like obviously Rotom Wash is good with Scizor.
Like it's worth getting Rotom Wash.
Like fucking duh. Yeah, it's very good. And I need to get on the clock here for Max's pick. And so now we are getting into definitely a little bit more of the dregs.
The second tier.
The second tier. I guess there's still some really good Pokemon on the boards here. Yeah. I really like Tornadus T, but I actually don't think that it pairs super well with Gliscor. I think that Tornadus T is another one of these like super high value picks that anybody that's picking after this is gonna love to take, but I think given that you've taken Gliscor, oh man, this might be a reach, but I think that this Mon is super duper good and pairs super well with Gliscor. No, this might be too early to take this Pokemon. I don't know.
Will you get it in 6 picks?
There's a chance. There's kind of there's a replacement for this Pokemon. So I think I just want to take what I kind of view as a really good Pokemon in Volcanion here.
Yeah, I think in the middle of this, like I said, in this middle morass of the draft, it's worth just drafting for value.
Yeah.
Especially when there are subprime replacements available later in the draft for what you're thinking about.
Yeah. All right, and now I'll put you on the clock for River.
Yeah, you just mentioned Tornadus T. I love this mon. I love Regenerator. And it's just probably the best Regenerator mon in this meta, I think. It's got that pure flying type, which is unique in this game. Still nothing else has ever had it. And it's honestly better than you might think as a defensive type. It lets you take some errant fighting type attacks. It gets you above ground. It's obviously a ground immunity. And now you are a little ice weak drafting this with Superior, but just having just like I said, I just it just makes me uncomfortable seeing Tornado slip this far, and it's just a
Yeah,
really
it's
versatile
really
mon
good.
that can fit in pretty much any way you want to build the rest of this team out.
Yeah,
It gives
yeah.
you some more weaknesses that are kind of glaring now, but you have the rest of your draft to figure that out.
I agree. I think there's a world where Tornadus T warrants
Is
a
a
first
first
round
round?
pick.
Yeah.
So I think getting it in the middle end of the second round is completely great, even though it isn't necessarily a perfect pair with Superior.
Yeah.
Okay, and I am on the board for the Garchomp team. So there's a lot of good options here. I I think that so one of the issues with like these like ground type teams is that like everything's good with them. It's like, oh yeah,
But
every guy here rocks. And works great with Garchomp. Um I should not say that's probably really annoying for the listeners. But there are a few Pokemon that are going through my head here. This this might be this might be a bit of a reach for this guy, but
it might be who I think it is.
I I want to take Charizard
Okay. Okay.
here. Uh, I think that Charizard is very unique among the megas, and I think that both Charizards will be very strong with Garchomp
Yeah.
in particular. Um, either like Garchomp is like just like a good kind of like tandem breaking core with Charizard X,
Yeah.
or it's Charizard Y is just like ridiculously powerful special attacker, so you can kind of just be a breaking core that way.
Yeah,
Um,
some of the most acclaimed breaking cores in the game's history are kind of counterintuitively two of the mons with the same exact typing. Um,
yep.
where like in last gen, I really abused having Reuniclus and Alakazam on my team because they were just both psychics. So whatever checks the single psychic is gonna get worn down, and then the second psychic will come in and probably
Take
clean
over
it
the
up.
game. Yep.
Same concept here applies with Charizard X and Garchomp, and then you have Charizard Y, which I mean, it brings its own synergy. It's hard to overstate how powerful it is having Drought on a mon that's that strong and fast.
Yep, I agree. This might be a bit of a reach, but anyway, you're on the clock. You have a minute 30 for Jacob's Landorus Therian team.
For Lando T, it's hard to again like Garchomp. It's hard to kind of pick. It's hard to pick a direction. You can really go wherever you want. I think I'm gonna pick a very defined. Well, this guy's really versatile, but he also kind of sets a direction. Tyranitar has just fallen a little too far for me, and I think he's worth picking here. You get the Mega if you want. The Mega is also very good, but just regular Tyranitar with an Assault Vest or Choppleberry or whatever you want, Scarf even. These two are just so versatile, and they synergize just like very, very nicely together. Landorus
Yeah,
being able
as
to
a
hit those
defensive
fighting
core.
moves, and then the ground move immunity for Lander or for T-Tar. Yeah, it's very nice. So this is just, I mean, like honestly, it's kind of crazy that this duo was left up, but not like the other drafts were weak.
Yeah. Maybe Tyranitar was better with Chomp. There's a very good
Oh,
argument for
definitely.
that.
I just thought about that.
All right. So now I'm picking for the Volcarona squad, and again, I'm wanting a good hazard remover. But there's honestly there aren't really
The premium ones are
that
kind of gone.
many. Yeah, I
One
guess.
that I think works very nicely here.
Yeah. I'm actually. I think there is a couple that I like, and I think that.
Given your position in the draft, do you think that they'll probably fall, considering that the Excadrill team is picking next?
Metagross and Excadrill are still picking. It's possible. Yeah, because they but also, well, the two hazard removers that I like are just like super awesome. you know, this could totally be a reach, but I feel like this Pokemon is just like exactly what Volcarona wants. I'm gonna take Latias. It's gonna provide healing wish support, so the Volcarona can do its thing twice. It's defog support. Latias is also just a super solid offensive threat and mega in its own right. So I'm gonna take Latias here.
Yeah, yeah. It's exactly the kind of support that Volcarona needs. It's got the defog, it's got the healing, and it has resists for important types that you might be getting hit with, especially water. For Metagross, I think this thing is also just like such a tank. It doesn't. The main flaws I see with it are that it doesn't really have reliable recovery and it's a bit slow. So comparatively to the other offensive threats. So I think to help shore up some of that, I am going to pick. It's a little tough, but I think this is worth it. I'm gonna go with Chansey. It's got the biggest wish. It's one of the best walls in the metagame, and it would be one of the best answers to Metagross. If actually, I don't even know if that's true. I just like Chansey. I just think it's really worthwhile to secure the super premium walls in the tier early. I've done this in previous drafts and it's worked out well for me. I just think that while they aren't as flashy as the offensive stars, they can make team building the rest of your team so much easier.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I personally.
And I also just really value having really good wish support in place for Metagross.
Yeah, totally. I feel like you probably could have gotten Blissey in round 4 potentially.
You're right.
But also I agree that this is like a very solid core. And again, it's like we're thinking about like the I don't know. There's definitely something to be said. Just taking the good guy on the board.
Yeah, and I think for every reach that you do, every other team will also have a reach that they make. So like.
Yeah.
It kind of will all come out in the wash in my experience.
Yeah, I agree. And so now Jenny has back-to-back picks, and I think that this Pokemon is just like a no fucking brainer here. It's cute. It's fucking insanely offensively threatening.
And it really needs a spinner.
And you, in having Excadrill, have by far the premium spinner in this generation, and I actually I think that this is like, to me, like kind of like almost a dream like start at the 1.
Yeah, like you could Talonflame. Oh wait, you're about to make a pick. Sorry.
No, that's okay. You keep talking.
And Charizard, also just these guys that are super inhibited by Stealth Rock that kind of require you to have a good spinner. Well, if you have the good spinner already, those are like the best picks for you. So if you could have had a Charizard slip this far, it would have been amazing. And then obviously with your next pick, you might see something like that. But Dragonite is one of the best. It has multi-scale, so you really need to preserve that max HP, which is why it needs a spinner so bad.
Yeah,
and then if it has that support, it can just completely dominate the game.
Yeah, totally. I do agree that Talonflame is a good pick here, but I think I'm going to take something different. I have 20 seconds. I'll just go ahead and start this.
It's whatever.
No. I think that it's important that you provide a degree of analysis as well on every pick, especially because we have 2 minutes. And I think I'm going to take another super strong offensive threat here that's also very cute. And I'm going to take Manaphy.
Hell yeah. And I was wondering when that was going to get picked up.
I actually think that this is like the fucking banger, cute, but also viable draft right here. I love this squad in particular of the squads that are assembled right now. So maybe the lesson is don't let the person with Excadrill get Dragonite, and I think it's probably kind of risky. But anyway,
just to ensure that in the real draft.
Yeah. But
NFC, for what it's worth, is just like it has 100 in every stat. It's one of those mons, but it really puts that to work with its signature move, Tail Glow, which gives you
mhm.
2.5 times special attack. It's the highest. It's the best boosting move, um, or the strongest boosting move, I should say.
Yeah.
And then like it just has it's a water type, so with those 100 in every stat, it can take hits very well, like most of the other bulky waters. Not quite as well as like a Slowbro, for instance, but it is service more than serviceable. And then it has Scald for being a water type, which is really nice, and then Hydration, which is an underrated ability, which lets you kind of get into like the rest set or just functioning on a rain construct. It's very versatile and very, very strong.
Yeah,
With
100%. I agree completely. I think that it's also really good value to pick up here in round 3. So I will go ahead and begin the timer as you're picking for the Metagross Chansey team.
I picked Chansey kind of early for sure. It is a strong mon, the thing is it has weaknesses. Metagross can kind of absorb knockoffs. I want something that can take knockoffs better because I can't lose that Eviolite. I need something that can take kind of fighting moves, and ground moves. So ideally a flying type. Wow, my eyes just went to Mandibuzz. I think I'm reaching a little bit early here.
Yeah. I think you can wait a little.
Immunity is probably my number one thing, and these guys are just so strong. I can't let them fall anymore. We're gonna take Thundurus here. Regular
Yeah.
Thundurus. They're pretty. This and the Therian form are both very strong. They have different, I guess, different strength, like slightly different strengths. Thundurus mainly has Prankster, so it gives me a little speed control, where I don't have that present on this rather slow team so far. And then, yeah, it's just a very strong attacker.
Metagross is actually pretty fast.
Faster than I mean, it has Bullet Punch for sure. So
Doesn't it have 110?
No, it can't be that fast.
It's 110.
Bruh. Alright. It's about Metagross. Even I am underestimating it as I build around it. It's better than you think.
Yeah, that one is nuts. Okay, and I think.
I mean, do you think Thundurus is a good pick with this team?
Oh yeah, I 100% would have picked Thundurus here. There's no question. And now we have this Volcarona Latias hyper offense core, which I guess is just probably looking for the strongest remaining offensive threat. Man, I mean, this might be silly, but I'm gonna take Thundurus.
Hell yeah! No, they back, man.
Yeah, I mean, this is just like an this is an insanely threatening, like especially offensive, attacking core here.
Yeah.
You're gonna want some serious stuff for this.
I think that. Well, looking at it, we're on to my pick, right? Sorry.
Yeah. We can move on to your pick.
Landorus, and T-Tar. This is kind of a sand construct, but I don't have a Steel type yet, so let's see if there are any premium of those yet. And I see one really, really good one. So I'm just gonna throw Heatran on this team, and now we have the ground, the rock, and the Steel type, and it's some really good ones at that.
This is a beast balance core right here.
These guys, none of them are particularly fast, but they're all tanky as shit. They all hit hard as hell, and they can all do things that no other mon can quite do. So I'm really happy with these three as a core, and now you just got to build out a competent something fast alongside them. Maybe some hazard control. But yeah, this is a great basis for a team.
Yeah. And I agree completely that this is super solid. And now we're going to move on to this Garchomp Charizard core. And this team is really desperately wanting a better way to get hazards off the field because it took Charizard. Latios is kind of interesting. but I don't think this Pokemon is gonna. It might, but I don't think it's gonna make it all the way back to this team, and I think it's probably the best Charizard supporter left on the board. Because it provides defog and speed control and hazards all in one. I'm gonna take Mew here with the third pick, which might be a bit of a reach. Maybe this is just the team of reaches. You think it's out of place?
No, I'm saying it looks that way at first glance, but Mew is, I think it's one of the best Pokemon in draft format, period. It gets every move.
Yeah.
And it has 100 in every stat. It can do anything you need
I
to support
agree.
your team. It's never going to particularly carry. I've seen some weird choice band sets, but like it can do dual screens, it can do rocks, it can do I don't think it gets wish in this gen, but yeah, it's just super versatile and
Will-O-Wisp, T-Wave, knockoff.
Definitionally the ultimate glue guy.
Yeah, defog, like you name it. Like Mew is, I think, just a boss here.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, I'll pass to you with the Serptorn team.
All right, so this team is super ice weak. In general, we'd like some more support to get. I mean, we have a U-turner for Superior, but we'd kind of like to get some hazards on the floor to make the Leaf Storm sweep more likely. And the best hazard setter I can see right now, they're kind of all gone. I think this. Again, like Mew, looks like a reach, but Klefki has two of the best types in the game. It has Prankster. It can get you spikes on the ground, plus screens if you want. And just in general, it's a super offensively slanted like support mon, but I mean, that's the two mons you have. You have Superior and Tornadus, and you need something to take ice moves, so I think Klefki is a great pick here.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I was super scarce,
Yeah. I was definitely eyeing Klefki as like one of these Pokemon that I have like way higher in my draft order than.
But then it actually probably should be in like a singles metagame.
Yeah, then it's is it even ranked in viability? It's literally 99 of 100 in viability.
That's so funny.
So yeah, I don't mind that at all here. I think that locking up a good support Pokemon is always really valuable, especially a steel
doing this
type.
role for this team would be like an Azelf, a Cresselia. Whereas I just think the typing that Klefki has puts it in such a better spot than those types of mons.
Yeah, I agree. So I'll start the timer for Max's pick. This team wants... Oh, actually, this is like a no-brainer, I think, right? Like, this team wants entry hazard removal. It has Volcanion. Zapdos is on the board.
Hell yeah.
Take Zapdos.
Zapdos, to me, was probably... Like, he's right below Thundurus.
For sure.
So this is a great range for him to go in. Yeah, no notes. Zapdos, just as a mon, he's kind of the fatter version of Thundurus. He has Roost, which those two don't. And has Defog, which those two don't. So he's definitely a little slower pace, but he still gets Volt Switch, so you can do whatever you need with that. And he functions as a great ground immune for a team.
And he this is looking like a really nice bulky offense core. Obviously, this team has some questions to answer with regards to like what is its steel type going to be, but I think that it can probably figure it out, and I think that this is just like a really good offensive core. You have a good Scald Spammer. You have a good knockup Absorber, and a good status Absorber. You have good hazard removal.
Absorber, because he doesn't care if he loses his Toxic Orb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'd say he's like arguably the best potentially knockup Absorber and status Absorber. So
Mega fancy. For both actually.
Mega Diancie. That's true. That's true. But yeah, I will go ahead and pass to you with Scizor and Rotom Wash.
So, Scizor has been known to do something like this, and this will just make this draft a little more fun for me and interesting. Scizor, is very weak to fire types, right? It kind of synergizes well with water types because of that, and for that reason, I think I'm just gonna take Politoed. Now, like,
Okay.
hold on, let me think about it more. No, 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 no. 'Cause no one's gonna take Toad. I just got, but I think my angle for this team is to get into more of a rain thing. Like obviously you have 10 mons, so you can draft like 4 mons for a rain construct and then have a normal team outside of that, and they aren't really going to be contested. So if that's your plan, then I would definitely let those like more like synergy only picks, like something with Swift Swim, like if you wanted to pick Kingdra with that, let it fall a little bit more and get something that's a lot more valuable. And we already have like I just think Talonflame, even if that is your plan to go into rain, Talonflame is just it doesn't need to click a fire move. You know, it can
It
have
actually
a
hates
move,
clicking fire moves.
move set of entirely like 4 flying moves and just be completely fine. And probably that's the best way to play it. Well, maybe Swords Dance. I don't know. The point is, Talonflame is just like this is the premier speedmon I think in this tier. Like obviously there are mons that have higher base stats, but they don't have Gale Wings as well. Talonflame has probably it has the fastest Will-O-Wisp I think, and also just the fastest priority. It has the strongest priority move in like a Gale Wings Brave Bird, and you can also get priority Roost on that, so it works really well as a defensive guy. So like this is kind of a balance team as with the core I've assembled.
Absolutely.
But they don't lack for speed or threats or tankiness really.
Oh.
They can do it all. And
Yep.
that's
All
my
right.
pick.
That was the first time we've had the timer go off. I'm gonna take Latios here. I think Latios looks fucking crazy good here. It basically is kind of perfectly playing off of the type matchups of the last 2 picks, and it's also
fighting psychic is a common core for sure.
yeah, and it's just a 600 base stat total Pokemon, and it has a 700 base stat total Mega if you want to use that. It's gonna love having Latios around, or having Weavile around to just knock off everything and then come in and press Draco Meteor. It's like, and Draco Meteor is a little bit weaker, but like as you can tell, there's only 2 teams with fairy types right now because the fall off on fairy types is really high. So anyway,
It's precipitous, and for any steel types that are going to give both Weavile and Latios trouble, you got Keldeo sitting right there. So
Yep.
yeah, this is it's a great core for a reason.
all right,
Now on to
I'll put you on the
Autumn's pick.
timer.
Yeah, I got. Let's see. I mean, these 2 picks. I just love this trio of types. This is another just nice little core in itself.
It is.
And so because of that, I'm less inclined to pick for synergy and more to just pick a really high base stat total mon still left. And I think.
It's a lot tougher now.
Yeah,
You
right.
you see what I mean? Where it's like once you get past the first 2.
Okay. Actually, I think this is a great spot for Hippowdon. It's hard to find the perfect team for Hippowdon.
Ooh.
It's the ground type that's left that's the best, and it doesn't hurt Clefable, it doesn't hurt Bisharp, and it's just really fat. So you're kind of leaning into this kind of semi-stall construct
yeah.
already, but it's a strong construct for that.
No, I actually agree completely. I wasn't considering that at all, but I like that pick a lot. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think you maybe could have waited till
Yeah, for
4,
sure.
but like also you're probably gonna get whatever you were looking for, if you're not looking for a ground type here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're moving on to Daniel's Alakazam Ferrothorn team. And this is another one where I really want to take the best ground type left on the board.
They're getting real scared. It's getting scary.
This could be a crazy reach for this guy, but I feel like Mamoswine is a fucking boss. And he is priority. He's a ground type. He's a great breaker to pair with Alakazam.
Yep. I totally agree. I was eyeing. Honestly, like I thought about him before Hippowdon because I just like having just a really strong Earthquake, and also a very strong Ice Shard. It's the strongest Ice Shard in the game as it stands, and
Yep.
that's something
Is
to
it
consider.
tied? Is it tied with Weavile? They have the same base attack,
Mammoth,
right?
I think is stronger than
Oh no,
Weavile.
yeah, Weavile's only 120. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And Mamoscine's 130. It is the strongest Ice Shard. Absolutely.
Um, and Alakazam before the introduction of Psychic Terrain is very very weak. Like it has 150 base speed, but it has like base 30 defense. So priority moves are going to be what you're very scared of. So you want to have something like Ferrothorn that can take them really easily, and then also taking one off the board with Mamoswine definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Mamoswine looks mega here. All right, I'll pass to you with the Diancie Skarmory team.
All right, and I got a double pick here, and we have Hazard Secure. We have Hazard Control Secure. We're kind of leaning for offense, so I want something fast. I want something strong, but something to consider here. My mind went to like something like Lopunny or Medicham. I think we're like they're just really strong. It's hard for me to leave these guys on the board, but Diancie is pretty much a Mega only Pokemon, and you have to
Yep.
consider that when you've drafted something like that. Like Scizor is so valuable because you can just play normal Scizor and have it be fine. But the Mega is also very strong too. Um, Something like Diancie, you're kind of restricted, and it's my first pick. I'm gonna bring it to probably every game, so it really
Yep.
disincentivizes picking anything that's a Mega after that. Um, which means I guess my best pick left will probably be. I think. No, I can't pick that. Boy, this is scary. Uh, all right, fuck it. In the theme of ground types being picked, I'm picking Diggersby. Diggersby's just very strong. Diggersby really needs hazard support. We really want a ground type on this team, and he's one of the best ones left. Now, you could have had an argument for one of the bulkier ones, but I was just really considering that we're trying to do offense with this team.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
really think we can afford to be swapping into Quagsire on Thunderbolts,
I think
So,
Quagsire looks terrible here.
and so to pair with that Diggersby, I think. Oh, now we're just kind of slow, huh? We have.
Well, Diancie's fast,
Dang, oh yeah, I
and
always
also
forget.
Diggersby's priority.
Yeah, he has quick attack off huge power. Maybe not the biggest concern. I think I can just draft for. Oh wow.
No,
Oh, that was the first
yeah,
one,
that's
right?
the first one. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah. Um, grass types look scary. Water types look scary. I'm gonna take the best grass type I think is left. Yeah, it's this or Tangrowth, and I think Breloom's better than Tangrowth. Oh, Amoonguss is on the board. Fuck.
You can
No,
take
Amoonguss is
a
too.
Mungus. You got a
I
minute 30
think
left.
Amoonguss is a little.
Passive. I agree.
Yeah, I think he's a little passive for this construct. I'll stick with Breloom. And Breloom has Spore in this gen. It's not banned. Um, and he has Technician Mach Punch, which helps. I mean, we're just a priority team, I guess. But I don't know. I think just as something to come in on those Scalds and be one of the best Scald absorbers in the game is very good. Also, knockoff absorber for being a resist.
Yeah, I think that's really good. Uh, and now we have this team, and this pick's a little harder. Again,
It's getting hard.
we're running into the back end. So what is? I guess we probably want to prioritize just the types here, actually. Like kind of shoring up. We have a pretty bad fire weakness on this team right now, so maybe best water type available. Makes a lot of sense to me. And I do think that this Pokemon actually is probably has probably fallen a little far. I I feel like this is like a bit more of a balanced team.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, I want to take the best kind of remaining Mon for balance here. and I'm gonna take Slowbro.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's that or like Starmie, right?
Yeah, I think Slowbro. This team doesn't care that much about hazards.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it loves hazards, but
It loves
Kazam,
hazards.
yeah, Kazam and Ferrothorn don't really mind that much. Mamoswine's not super happy with hazards, but I think that Slowbro makes a lot of sense here. So I'll pass to you with the Clefable Bisharp Hippowdon team.
All right. And now, so this is definitely one of the fatter teams. We're trying to play slow, and to play slow, you probably really need a bulky water, and one of the good ones at that. So I think, um, in that spirit, the ones that are left are not exactly inspired. You took my favorite one.
Well,
But
there's a pretty good discount version.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take the other regen mon for fat. And now we're just in full stall. We're in Alamomola. This thing has Regenerator. It has one of the best wishes in the game.
Wait, this team is fucking nasty, actually.
It's
Okay.
it's got knockoff even because of the hands on its fins. It's just very good. Especially when you're already playing slow. I don't know how it happened that I'm drafting stall, but it is what it is. It's your pick.
Auden with stall, man. Honestly, Auden, you might want to.
This thing's fun to play, bro.
Auden would love playing stall. Like Auden loves making his opponent annoyed. Uh, anyway, I think that this pick's pretty easy, actually. I think that Magnezone is fucking perfect for this team.
Damn. Yeah.
It's the best steel type left, and it's a slow pivot for Weavile.
For sure.
And it's offensively threatening. I think that this is shaping up to be a team that is just a great bulky offense
Yeah.
team with a ton of just good Pokemon. I like this team a lot. And I will also it's good against some of the better spike setters and checks. So obviously Latios wants the steel types to be removed, and Magnezone is a trapper for Pokemon like Skarmory and Ferrothorn. It technically traps Heatran and Metagross as well, though.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's
a bit
I will say
that's a bit of a Watchmen Rorschach moment. Like it's like the Magnezone.
it's better in this draft format than in regular singles. I'll say, as someone who's played with a Magnezone, I mean, yeah, when you know you're playing the Heatran team, you bring HP ground, bro. It's that simple. Like, and yeah, they can have an air balloon, but like, it's a lot easier. I think Magnezone is a lot better in draft than singles because you're not fishing for a matchup. You know your matchup going into it. You know exactly how to kit this mon out to do exactly what you need him to do.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And if there's not a steel type on their team that you're worried about, leave them at home. You know, but
I think that this team probably is almost always going to want to bring it.
He wants to bring him anyway. Yeah.
All right, I'll pass to you with the Volturn Talonflame team.
Yeah. All right, it's sticking out like a sore thumb. There aren't many ground types left. I'm just gonna take the one with like 700 BST. I'm taking Zygarde. He's like UUBL. He's not very like super supported in the in or like in the regular metagame. He is just subprime because he's like shitty Garchomp. But it's okay to have shitty Garchomp in a draft. And I my evaluation of him is just like, yeah, he doesn't have like all the tools that Garchomp has, but he's got a ground type and he's got really good base stats. So you can make it work if you really are just starving for a ground type. And again, I'm just worried of losing him because there are some other teams that don't have ground types here as well.
Yeah, I think that this pick makes a lot of sense. Yeah, this is definitely easily the best.
Immunity for Talonflame and Rotom Wash, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a good. It's a decent offensive core with Scizor. I think that this team does need a little bit of offensive help potentially still, but
Zygarde's more of like a setup sweeper with coil or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just gonna come out of the gate and be strong. We need a breaker for sure.
Yep. Okay. I will get on the board with this Volcanion Zapdos team. This team is a little weak to rock. And there aren't really that many great things to pick up here, but actually I think I like this. I'm gonna take Jirachi here
Yeah.
as another one of these premium steel types, or maybe not premium, but good. It's like a good BST Pokemon, and it's flexible.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
and
mean, I'll always sing Jirachi's praises. You know me.
Yeah, true.
It's it's just it has such a wide move pool. It has a fantastic ability. You can just kit it out like to do whatever you need it to do in the match. It has Draco Meteor, it has Iron Head, it has Thunder Wave, it has Wish. It can literally do anything, I think, and not quite to the extent of Mew, but very very well.
Yeah, and I think this team just wants a steel type, and I think that this is the best one on the board. So, and I think it makes a lot of sense in this kind of balance slash bulky offense construction that this team has going for it. All right, and now I'll put you on the clock for Rivers' team.
Yeah, with these offensive teams, I go a little more off the wall, but I think you can afford to. Like a good offense team, it doesn't need to be perfectly constructed because at the core of it, if you're winning the game, it doesn't matter how well built your team is. You're on the offensive. You're clicking the attacks. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried as much about defensive cores. That is, obviously they still need to have need to have some infrastructure in place, but it's just not my highest priority in draft. So in that spirit, I think I'm just gonna take something that's really fucking strong. I'm taking Mega Metacham. To me, it's my favorite, and it can help. Actually, I think Gallade is slightly better in this construct because let me put Metacham back real quick. Gallade, while it is rated just like slightly lower than the other ones, in terms of just like its general overall evaluation, I think Gallade fits better in like a screens construct, especially with a pivot like Tornadus on the team. It just has more of a chance of getting its Swords Dance off, which lets it really be much better than the other two. That's kind of what sets it behind, is that it needs to hit its Swords Dance to really set it apart. But on a screens construct, that's a lot easier. Anyway, that's my pick.
I think that's a good pick. I agree with taking one of these good megas at this point. Now, this is like an interesting team. I would say that this is very much a balanced team to me.
Mm-hmm.
So this team would love Slowbro, but he's off the board. So maybe it's just Slowking. I mean, it does the same thing. I mean, honestly, it might even be slightly better here because you already have Chomp.
Right.
Who's a better physical wall than special wall.
I mean, you kind of... Oh, yeah, you have Defog. I always forget Mew has Defog. Never mind. Yeah, I was thinking about Starmie.
Yeah. I think
but I don't think you need
Starmie
really.
might be a little... It doesn't last long enough.
Yeah.
For what this team wants. I think that this team wants someone who can...
Who's going to stick around.
Stick around and be a reliable... yeah, kind of resist for it, and it's tanky. It's gonna come in and eat these ice type moves that probably your opponent is gonna want to be spamming.
Like some Scalds.
Yeah, I guess you could argue that stacking the Psychics is a bit risky, but ultimately there aren't that many premium dark type teams. Yeah, I think I'll lock it in. I'll lock in Slowking here. It might be a bit of a reach, but I like it.
Ah, sounds good.
I'll put you on the clock for Jacob's team.
Yeah, so this team, this is the Sand team, and so the thing about weather not being permanent in this gen is that you don't really have to fully commit. Like, you can play Lando T and Heatran completely normally as soon as that sand runs out and have mons that aren't immune to sand on the team with it. But that's not to say that you shouldn't lean into synergy when it's available. Unfortunately, Exodrill's not on the board. So I think probably I'll just pick... What are they weak to? We really need a water resist.
Yeah.
I think this is probably the best one I'm going to get. This guy is water absorb. And he's immune to the sand.
This is crazy. But I don't hate it. I understand
We
it.
don't have to worry about grass types because we have a Heatran.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know what would fit better here. You know, I think we really needed something to deal with the water.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
There's not really a good dragon available that's immune to it or immune to sand. So yeah, I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, all right. I think that this pick is pretty
Actually,
easy.
last minute change.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you got 30 seconds. You can change until.
All right. I'm putting Empoleon. I think he's slightly better. Just
I
because
like
he
it.
gives us defog if we want.
Yeah, and he's still a solid Scald Absorber.
Yeah.
And it's also annoying for the teams lacking a Steel type right now because for a lot of these teams, I was like, I think if Empoleon is on the board, I'll take him next round, but no longer. Yeah, I like that pick. I like Empoleon a lot as well in this. I think that this pick is actually like freaking no-brainer. This team just wants to stack as many offensive threats as it can possibly get, and Kieran Black is on the board, so I'm gonna take Kieran Black here.
Kieran Black is awesome, man. He is.
This team does have some rock issues, but
What rocks, man? What rocks? We have like banded Kieran Black with the fusion bolt coming down off 170 base attack. Like, yeah, I'm not worried about some rocks.
yeah. But I don't wanna. I don't necessarily want to give Kieran Black to the. I guess Jenny might not take Kieran Black no matter what, but Kieran Black would be so nasty on that squad. Anyway, I will pass to you with my team.
All right. So we have a Thunderous, we have a Metagross. This is kind of just looking like some pretty good balance. We have decent defensive core. We need a ground type probably. We don't have any way to get rid of hazards. Oh, I don't like where I'm looking. I think actually is this guy better? Dude, I just really don't want to pick Dawn Fan. You know what I mean? Like,
I would not. I don't think Don Fan is viable, personally.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something you can put on your team.
Yeah, I just need to stop overthinking it. Draft for value. I'm just gonna pick Mega Metacham. Also,
Yeah.
wait, what did you pick? What did you? Oh, never mind. Sorry, I got confused.
I think there's.
Metacham is strong. It's got 100 base power and huge power. And like, oh fuck.
Yeah, 47 seconds.
Yeah. It's a mega. It's a mega with Mega Metagross.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Like, you
That's
don't
what I
have
was
to
thinking.
Mega Metagross.
But you really want to.
Yeah. Fuck. I'm picking Tangrowth.
Alright. I think that actually that's fire.
Yeah. It's just really nice to have a Tangrowth on your team. It's Regenerator. It's tankier than you think. And it. Oh god. Yeah. I'm gonna stop thinking about it. It's Tangrowth.
Yeah. You had 10 seconds or whatever. Alright. Again, we're getting into some rough territory here.
It's like still good mons available. It's just like hard to think about what's best exactly.
For this team, I agree. I said that Kieran Black was nasty. Maybe. Oh no. You have to take cute Pokemon.
Well, there's one good cute Pokemon left.
I'm gonna take Gardevoir.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it just makes sense. It's really fucking strong and it's fast. It's like Dia Alakazam, but it also gets the perk of being a fairy type.
And it's
It
bulky.
has a really strong Moonblast.
Yeah.
It's
And
bulkier than you would think.
I'm gonna let the timer run out because I have no clue what I'm picking here because this Pokemon needs to be cute. So, what is this type? What is this weak to? It's a weak to. It's not really weak to much. It's actually a super solid team defensively. I guess it needs a good ghost resist, but that doesn't exist.
Yeah, Blissey.
Does Blissey make any sense at all on this team
No,
though?
not really.
I don't think so.
I mean, you kind of need something for Bolt Beam users with Dragonite and Manaphy.
That's a good point. But like
You know,
this
I
team
just love
doesn't
big
need
Pokemon.
doesn't need to be super solid defensively.
Yeah.
It just wants the best offensive threat left on the board that's also cute. Ah. So let me think about cute Pokemon. Is Azumarill cute? But Azumarill's not that great here. Uh, this is tough. I guess it doesn't. Yeah, it just wants a ghost resist. Like that's like number one. That's like the only thing it freaking
How many
cares
things are
about.
clicking ghost moves though?
That's a great point. Almost nothing. I have 52 seconds. I want to maybe it's just Celebi. Is it Celebi? It's like a good support Pokemon for this team.
I was thinking about a good grass type, but I think there are better grass types. Or there's really just one, but it's not that
Amoonguss?
cute. Yeah, I think
I
I
don't
like
think
Amoonguss better.
I think Celebi makes way more sense
For this
for
team,
this
yeah.
team. Because Amoonguss is super passive.
Yeah, it's super passive. You're right.
So I'll put you on the board with my team.
Okay. We need a lot. Um, I don't know how I got into Tangrowth and Chansey from Mega Metagross pick, but it's where we're at. I think I'm going to take. Hazard control would be nice. Yeah. I think it's just so. Yeah, fuck it. I'll send Starmie. Rapid Spin is nice to have. And we need something to take ice moves, I guess. And I'm thinking of more like an Assault Vest Starmie, which isn't really the most popular set, but I think it's just like what this team kind of needs. Um, I don't know. You can kind of angle it however you want though. I like Starmie for that reason. It has a lot of coverage moves and it's just fast as shit. Like not many things are gonna outspeed it, and that's some. Thunderous is fast too, but uh, yeah, it's just filling out the type chart as well.
Damn it!
What do you think?
I wanted to take Stormy with this
Look,
pick.
it's really good on that one.
That's okay. This team really needs. I actually think that this Pokemon makes a ton of sense here. I'm gonna take Medicham.
Yeah, yeah. No mega on this team yet. It's strong as fuck, and you're already kind of an offensive construct. So yeah,
Where is Medicham? There he is. I think that the fifth round, like this is just like a base stat total monster offensive team right here.
yeah. It's just ridiculously strong. Damn.
And I'll put you on the clock.
Yeah. I think that this team needs probably. We're kind of a slow team. We could use something with a high base stat total, or sorry, a high base speed. Um, but maybe not necessarily necessary. Um,
This doesn't have a good mega yet.
yeah, that's the other thing I'm looking at. And there's one really fast good mega left. So I think I'm just gonna not overthink it and send Lopunny.
Yeah.
Fitting that it would be taken right after Metacham. It's like base 130, 130 or something crazy like that. It's just very, very good. It has Scrappy, so there's no immunities for it. And yeah, it's just like the definition of like a solid attacker.
Yeah, I love that Pokemon here. I think it's a great pick. It's exactly what I would have made. And I think that this pick also makes a ton of sense, and this is kind of shaping into be a team that I actually think is very much your style.
Yeah.
Where we just have this regenerator balance team here.
Yeah.
Balance, maybe you could call it semi stall. I don't know, but it's just
Slow
good
balance for sure.
mons.
Yeah. That's definitely the play style I tend to favor.
Yeah, this really needs someone that can come in on a knockoff, but
Yeah.
I guess Amoonguss actually is pretty good at that. Or certainly not the worst.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll put you on the clock here.
All right. Rivers team, we're offense, we're screens, we are needing something that what wall's this? Probably just like a good psychic like oh, the Lotties are really tough to deal with. Same for Metagross. Um what do you even pick to deal with that? Probably a dark type, a really good dark type would be nice here. Are there any left? No. But there's a mon I really like on screens, so I think I might take it. I'm gonna take Crawdon. Crawdon I mean, like with the screen, he gets a Swords Dance up, and then he has just like a really fucking strong Aqua Jet.
I actually
With
think that's a
adaptability.
really good pick.
Yeah. Crawdon, he gives you a Dark type to really hit those fat ass psychics that I was worried about, and yeah, some priority is very nice on this team as well. So that's my pick.
Okay, and you're putting me on the clock with this.
Seeing us get into some of these subprime picks that they're like UU mons sometimes, but it's more about the team construct at this point. We're past picking just for value.
Yeah, this team needs a good mega still. And I see a mega that actually makes a ton of sense to
I think
me here.
it was it the one it might be the one I'm thinking of.
Well, is it Heracross?
Oh, really? Dude, that's out of left field. Okay.
Hold on, let me think
You need a
about
fighting
this.
type.
I think it makes sense. Hold on,
Yeah.
what the fuck else are the good megas here?
I
Hold
was
on.
thinking about Venusaur, but that's like it's pretty passive. It's just like fits this kind of bulky offense that you have going, and you need a grass type.
Yeah,
Mega Venusaur's
that's
a tank, dude.
that
Don't get me
is
wrong,
that
man.
that that is a very good point. Maybe Venusaur is the way to go here. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely a reach to take. Well, actually, I don't think it's that much of a reach. We are starting to get to the point where it's like, if I don't have a good mega yet, I should probably take one.
Yeah.
One. And yeah, Venusaur is honestly might have fallen way too far.
He's a good mon.
Also, you're denying it from Auden's team, where holy shit, that
It goes crazy.
yeah, I think you're right. And I'm putting you on the board with Kevin's team.
Alrighty. So with Scizor, we kind of don't really care about we have Scizor for defog, but I don't know if we necessarily want to always have to use him for defog. So it'd be nice to have some more optionality there. Um, don't have a great answer for like I don't know. I kind of like this construct. I think I might just take something strong. Uh, maybe. Ooh, actually, all right. I think this fits pretty well here. I'm gonna throw in Tornadus. If I do get into the rain angle later, it's obviously one of the best mons for that left, but also it's just got a nice speed tier, got some prankster I can do. Um, I I don't know. I think it's just too good of a mon to have fallen this far, and so I'm gonna pick it if it's decently well on this team.
I agree. I think that that's an excellent pick. And now we are running into another one of these teams that desires a good mega. Um, and also wants a ground type and electric immunity at the very least. But there's really nothing left in terms of good ground types. This team has a good priority user. It lacks a good status absorber. Like, but Will-O-Wisp isn't that good of a click versus this team. Oh, sorry. That was, I think, I didn't go
And
past.
for me, that was pretty
Yeah,
fast. I
yeah,
don't know.
that's what I thought. Um, what is this week 2? It's not that soft to much. I think it just wants another, like a strong mega. And we are starting to get.
I think you should take one of the fun megas, man. There's not many very strong ones left, um, but there are some fun ones that are super strong.
I don't. Man, this is hard. I want to take Gyarados.
I'm kind of looking at Pinsir because you have the Magnezone for the steel types.
I was thinking about Pinsir as well. Yeah. If
He's strong
you.
as shit, man. Don't sleep.
No, he's sick. I'm just. I guess I'm not that worried, actually. It does. This team might appreciate a secondary source of hazard removal, though. Picking up a Pinsir.
Yeah.
I don't
Well, the
know if
fog is
Lottie
pretty
is.
commonly distributed.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. I'll pass to the stall team here.
All right. The stall team, it wants a mega as well, and you took the premium stall mega. So I think uh, there's there's one that fits that's like decent. I might just pick a stronger mega that I think is just a better mon overall. But I mean, oh, and we don't have any way to control hazards. Usually those want something like a Skarmory or a Zapdos for defog. Ah, shit.
Does Altaria get defog?
It does, and yeah, I think I might go there. Yeah, we're kind of weak to those bulky steals, but hopefully Hippowdon can put in some work. And Altaria gets Earthquake with D-Dance. So the way Altaria works on Sol teams is it wants to set up with like Dragon Dance. It can also be a special attacker, but on this type of construct, you kind of just want the thing that will set up once all its threats are removed, and then just take the game from out of your hands from there. And Altaria is probably the best thing available to do that, and still be rather fat. It has aromatherapy support if you need it, defog support if you need it as well, I believe. I'm gonna check, but I'll give you the pick.
Yeah, I think it makes the most sense here.
I was also considering Aggron, but I just don't think Aggron can like make progress, and we need too much on this stall team for that to really fit.
And this team really needs a dark resist and a earthquake immunity. And I don't think it's that much of a reach. Sorry, I need to be. That's probably so annoying.
We're getting late in the draft. Yeah, I get it.
I I think actually. Well, no, that well, that's is does give this team a problem.
There's also this guy,
Who?
Gyarados.
I don't think Gyarados is that great here because this.
It's a dark type.
Well, but this team has Alakazam.
Yeah.
This team might want something. Oh, more offensive
Mm-hmm.
that does this, and I think
Yeah.
that this guy makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna take Hydreigon here just because it's just
Like a ground immunity.
yeah, it's a ground immunity, it's a dark, and a ghost resist, which is kind of an issue.
Yeah, that's like the one thing for sure bugging your team.
And this team does kind of want to be like this bulky offense core, and I think that having just this other strong special attacker, it makes a lot of sense to me.
For sure. He can be your Scarfer. He can
Does
yeah,
he get
probably just your Scarfer.
does he get U-turn? I don't know. Whatever. I'll
It does,
pass to you.
actually. And Josiah for this team, we got the weird offense with Diancie and Diggersby. I don't know. I just like Diggersby a lot. I can't really afford to pick a Mega here. But we want something that will probably. It's kind of glaring that we don't have a water type, huh? Maybe we don't need one. There aren't really great ones left. Ooh. We're kind of all contact Pokemon, so that hurts a little. Okay, okay. I think one of these offense teams has got to take this guy, and he just makes a lot of sense here. We already have so much priority. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about Cloyster here at this spot?
I Cloyster's a guy that I've been eyeing for a few teams, so I
Yeah.
think he's strong. I think especially at 5 on the 5th
Yeah,
round.
we have Rapids, or I mean, we have Magic Bounce already, so the Rapid Spin is kind of diminished. But I mean, if he's just there to click Shell Smash after a spike is up from Skarmory, that's cool. That's cool.
I
He can also be secondary
think
hazard.
Cloyster Rapid Spin is very viable.
Yeah. I'm just like thinking about the different things he can do. But yeah, in general, yeah, he's just another offensive threat. He can go either way in this gen, like attack or special attack, and kind of helpful for this team considering we have like 3 physical attackers. Diancie's mixed, but anyway,
I'm gonna put you
that's my
back
pick.
on the clock.
Yeah, sorry. With this one, we have grass water, and I think it's worth just picking up something to complete that defensive core while we already have the other one in place. I just am a fan of having a really solid team in place. And because of that, I think I'm just going to pick Rotom Heat. Gives us a pivot, which we're kind of lacking other than U-turn on Diggersby. So it gives us the Volt to that Volt turn, and it's a Fire type to complete the Fire Water Grass core. And yeah, he can be a very good Scarfer if we don't want to throw that on Diggersby. So yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, I think that's really good here. For sure.
Rotom Heat, like normally a UU-mon, but with the unique things that he can do when you're not allowed to pick Rotom Wash, yeah, he's very much worth a decent mid-level pick in this draft.
Oh yeah, I think 6th round is like great value for Rotom Heat. Like I really don't think that Rotom Heat is that much worse than Rotom
Bad.
Wash.
Yeah. He has the same stats. It's just the typing is worse, and in some teams the typing is better.
Yeah. And now we're back with this bulky balance core. This team lacks priority.
You got Ice Shard.
That's right, actually. Mammal Swine. Okay, it's not that lacking there. I think this team isn't. This is a very solid team in general, I would say.
Yeah.
I guess it's maybe a little soft to fighting moves, but I mean, clicking fighting moves is still like somewhat dangerous against this team because it potentially gives an in for Kazam. This team does want a little bit of help breaking, and it's also somewhat soft to hazard or not status, though not too soft because Kazam and Slowbro don't mind being statused all that much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. Is it crazy that I just want to take Ray Uniclus here? And just like have like a
Not
freaking
really, man.
Gen 5 OU team with Mega Alakazam?
This is the Castelia Comets draft.
Yeah, true. Alright, I'll take Ray Uniclus here. It's probably a bit of a reach. But I'll pass to you with the Sol team.
It's all reaches here, man. I think at this point, it's just all whatever you feel fits your team best. I think that this team, I had checked and Altaria doesn't have defog, but I still probably would have picked it. So I think we definitely need to get that under control. Altaria will not be a flying type, so we're not really that rocks weak anyway, but it's just nice to have. We're going to be switching a lot because it's a stall team, so we really need to get that locked down. And looking at the guys that can cast it, it is scarce. So maybe in certain matchups we don't need to worry about it as much. But yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I think I'm just gonna lock in Gligar. It looks crazy. It's an
It's
unevolved
funny.
Pokemon, but it's on a stall construct, especially. Like I think it can find its spots when I really just need to make sure that those hazards are not up. Yeah, I would have loved to have Gliscor here, obviously, but that was not a possibility. Anyway, that's my pick.
No, I think Gligar does the diet Gliscor thing really well.
Yeah,
And here we have a team. It's very offensive. Again, this team wants probably just another. It probably wants a
you don't
little
really
bit.
have a good rocker.
Yeah, it doesn't have a good rock setter, and it doesn't have. But it is a team that prefers to have no hazards, but it doesn't mind having hazards as well. Like it definitely likes having rocks. Does Conkeldurr get Stealth Rock? Is that crazy? Wait, no. This is fucking Terrakion.
Yeah, that's the spot.
Oh yeah, this team is. I like that team.
Surprisingly, Conk doesn't get that, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I am shocked, genuinely. But yeah, okay. I think that this is a really fun team. I would love to have a draft exactly like this one.
Yeah.
And I will pass to you with Kevin's team.
All right. Let's see. What are we weak to? We're weak to. We have an electric resist, but if they're running like bolt beam coverage, then Zygarde's barbecue chicken. It would be great to have just something that can just take special hits, no problem. I'm throwing Blissey on the board. It's about time she came off. It's basically Diet Chansey, kind of like it's reverse of Gligar and Gliscor's dynamic, where Blissey's like subprime Chansey in this gen, but honestly, in a draft format, especially when knockoff is going crazy, like Blissey is a better Pokemon if she's been knocked off than Chansey. So honestly, you could argue that this is a little low, but it just depends on what you're prioritizing for your draft. Like I might have needed to pick this up for Audin's draft actually, but oh well. That's the pick. I just think it's good to have another great defender on this team that looks to be balanced.
Yeah, I agree that also this is just good value for Blissey, who's
Yeah.
just a fundamentally super duper solid Pokemon. And we have this bulky offense core. It it's a little soft to fire type moves, but there's not much in the way of solid fire types on the board. I guess I guess you could say Arcanine falls into that, but
I think
that,
that's a little
that
early.
that makes you pretty weak to ground.
With 2 immunities? I don't know.
That's true. You'd have two immunities. That's a great point.
I don't know. Game unplugged. You do have Volcanion. I don't know how much you need a fire resist.
Yes, it's true. I mean I'm definitely factoring that in. I mean honestly this team doesn't mind having another water type, though. Still,
That's the thing about Volcanion. In the roll compressors, they can do so many things at once. They don't always do everything the best at once.
this might be silly, but I think this guy actually kind of makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh
take
yeah.
Suicune.
I think Suicune can get value in a lot of teams.
Yeah, it's once again high BST. It's bulky. It's a setup Pokemon. I think it makes a lot of sense here, actually.
Yeah.
And I'll pass to you.
It's a little hard to make progress with that mon, but I don't think this team really lacks for ways of doing that, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, with this team, we got Crawdon on here. This is kind of um it's I don't know. I think we definitely need something like we have our good pivot with Tornadus, but we really need something to just take a fat hit.
I hate Superior in the first round. I just want to throw it out there. I know that River is probably going to make this pick anyway, but I do not think Superior justifies a first round pick. Anyway,
It's so strong. Like if you can just deal with the one counter it has on the enemy team, likely maybe even two, it's gonna kill the other four for you, man. Like it's so easy to let it get out of control.
That's true.
Anyway, for this thing, what's really gonna stop it is, I mean, strong psychics, strong steel types. We kind of already dealt with that. Um, yeah, I think I just want a Fatmon. Um, This might be troll, but I think Cresselia. I think we're just gonna preface every pick with this might be troll, but like from here on out, you know. But who cares? This is the last 4 rounds. Let's have a little fun. I think Cresselia works here. It kind of functions like as like an alternative to Klefki if the matchup calls for it, but also it can just be a wall to like reset your screens, get a healing wish to get your superior or Gallade another shot at life. And yeah, it's just one of the premier support mons in draft. That's my pick.
Nah, I think Cress is boss. Um, I like Cress a lot there. And now we have this team that needs a steel type. And honestly, still doesn't hate the presence of more hazard control. And I'm really, really strongly eyeing Fortress here.
Yeah. He's like never someone you want to have like, drafted highly, but like when he fits perfectly, I mean, there's nothing else like him. They're probably all gone.
Yeah, I mean, again, from here on out, it really is some slim pickings.
Yeah.
So I'll pass to you with this Jacob's team. This one's pretty
I
weak
think
to ground.
Yeah, it's pretty ground weak, but we have a Lando, so like that helps a little. It'd be nice to have a grass type to complete the core, but there's not one that's immune to sand. So any grass type I get will be sub prime. I think like it'd also just be nice to have an electric type for bulky waters that are going to be slightly hard to deal with. Um, I mean, maybe it's Rotom Mow.
Dude, I like
who's not on the
Rotom-Mow.
board. Yeah.
I like Rotom-Mow. That's a guy I've been thinking about for a few
Yeah.
teams. But
I think it is Rotom Mow. I'm gonna quickly edit that in, but you can make your pick.
Okay. Um, we have this hyper offense team that still wants a Pokemon that can get hazards off the field. Or maybe prevent hazards from ever being set. This team is absolutely so frail defensively, but it is super duper offensively threatening. And it is weak to rock. And I know you said that you don't like this Pokemon, but I'm going to take Cobalion here.
All right. Give me the case.
Um, it's a
You need a skill type.
I need a steel type. It can set rocks. It's fast and can taunt.
Right.
And
It is fast. I always forget that about him. He has like 108 base speed.
yeah,
Volt switch.
it is not
It's
the
just it's just
weakest
an awkward mon
Pokemon
to me.
ever. It's a weird Pokemon for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. It's just awkward. It doesn't quite do exactly what you want it to, no matter what you want it to do. But like that being said, sometimes you just need a steel type. Like you need something that's gonna fucking eat a Draco Meteor here.
I think it makes sense like on this team, like it can press Calm Mind, it can press Swords Dance.
Which it is probably one of the best knockoff absorbers. Not in the sense that it doesn't care about its item, but it has Justified, so like it immediately becomes actual Mon as soon as it takes a Dark type move.
Yeah. But yeah, okay, I'll put you on the board with my team.
All right. Okay. We are weak to. I don't know. We have a good fat core. We have hazard control. We have fast mons. We have strong mons. This is a pretty well built team already, even if the mons look a little silly. But I think. Still, yeah. I mean, we have to. Tangrowth has to be there to take the earthquakes, right? What else is he there for? So. I think I just take a mon I like. And a mon I like. Probably a good Scarfer. There's not really a good in for one of those. It's between, but that makes me a little psychic heavy. I mean, I already am. So I think we're gonna go. Yeah, I'll send it. I'll send it. This is the Salamence spot to me.
Okay, yeah, I was eyeballing this guy.
Yeah, he's just strong. I mean, it's hard to. He's still Salamence, man. It's just that he kind of got outpaced a little bit by the metagame. But at the end of the day, he's still got Moxie or Intimidate. Both of those are really good abilities. He's probably one of the better Scarfers left on the. He's probably the best Scarfer left on the board. Got to be honest. So yeah,
Definitely.
I just want someone that's going to use that well, and we have hazard control in place for the rocks. So yeah, that's my pick.
I think that's reasonable. And this is also after I have two picks here, and then that's the last pick, and then we're just gonna pick three for each of the remaining
Yeah,
ones.
after the next round.
Uh, this team definitely wouldn't mind a fighting type. Wouldn't mind a fire type.
Just one of those, and I don't hate him.
I'm actually curious as to what specifically the one you're thinking of is, because
It's Infernape.
it's Infernape.
I just like him in draft because he's a mixed attacker, and I just value those in draft a lot. And like not mixed specifically, but like ones with big move pools, And he's got a decent speed tier. He's decently strong. I don't know. To me, I like him better than Arcanine. I think he's the best fire type on the board.
I was thinking about
Oh, actually,
Victini.
Victini. I forgot Victini. He's hiding in the corner there. Nah, send
Yeah.
Victini. But then you have
Okay.
3 psychic types, so you just got to worry about another ghost resist. But you have the next pick, so.
I think Victini is good. And now this team, yeah, just like. Oh man. Is it Halucha? Is that crazy?
Nah, I love Halucha.
There's also just Kirim. Like,
Yeah, Kurum is good. I don't know if for this construct he's the best.
you
Maybe
really?
though. Actually, he has the support that you would need for Kurum to work.
I think I like Kirim here.
Yeah,
I was, I think it's just like,
Lucha might not come back, but I think Kurum is just good.
yeah, super
It's really either
strong.
way.
Also, this guy's a nice type.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll pass to you as
All
we
right.
make the last pick.
Yeah. For this, I think the last one I'm really gonna think about. It'd be nice to finish fire, water, grass. I don't think Infernape though. I don't know. It might be just that might just be what I'm in. We're a pretty bulky offense team, but we have yeah. I think. Uh, oh, this guy might get picked, and I like him a lot in this team. Oh wait, never mind. I have a ground type. I forgot Zygarde was that. I was gonna throw Nidoking on there. He's someone I'm looking at just for those teams that don't have ground types. But for this one, I think I will just take. How? Oof, God, that's a lot of flying. Um, we still have a mega. Yeah, fuck it. I'll send Infernape. I think he's just versatile in the draft format to where like you can just pick the moves, the coverage moves. A lot of these mons with like 4 move slot syndrome are allowed to shine a lot in draft because you know which 4 moves you want to take for every game. Um, for the most part.
That's super valid. All right, I'm back on the board with this team. And yeah, this is a team that still would love it. A ground type, and I think
Any other water
Crocodile.
type. Okay. Okay, I'm with Crocodile.
I think no water type is fine when you have Kyurem Black, Latias,
Yeah.
Thunderous T. I think it's acceptable.
It's workable. Yeah.
And I think that Crocodile and Nidoking are the best ground types by a lot. Unless maybe you could like.
I don't think Seismitoad is a bad mon. It's just kind of passive for this
Yeah, I
team.
think Sensor terrible with this team. Gyarados is also still on the board. That's gonna be a good.
It's crazy, man, right?
Yeah, that one is extremely good. Maybe I don't. How solid is that with this team? How good? How solid is Gyarados? Maybe it is the best. Maybe it's the best actually by a lot. I'll take Gyarados.
Okay. All right, and back to the ground team. I mean, I'll say a little on Gyarados. He's versatile. You can do the mega or not. You lose. I mean, he has 2 great abilities as a regular mon, and then the mega gets Mold Breaker, which is a third even better. Like it's also a really good ability. So yeah, it's just very toolsy. On any game that you don't bring Mega Metacham, you're probably gonna have a Mega Gyarados sitting in the back. So it's nice to have that option. Um, anyway, for this Jacobs team, we have Sand Constructs, we have Water, Grass, Fire type core. It'd be nice to have something. I think this is the Mana Bus spot because it has Overcoat for the sand, and then also just gives you Hazard Control, which you lack otherwise. And then yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good pick. This team needs a Dark Resist. If your opponent has a strong knockoff user quite badly. And honestly, I kind of don't hate taking hair across here, but
You're gonna
maybe
use Heracross's Mega. I think it might be better to take Hawlucha, who doesn't have a Mega here. And you already have Hazard Control.
Well, I was thinking that like you can, it gives you up. I guess you don't need optionality. That's a great point. Hawlucha is very good. The other Pokemon I'm thinking about is Azumarill.
Yeah, I've been eyeing him for a while now.
But
It's just hard to fit. He's kind of awkward.
I feel like this is kind of a decent team for him, right? Where this team
Yeah,
needs priority. It's a bulky offense team.
it does need priority. Yeah, I'm with that.
I'll take Azumarill. This actually seems like pretty solid value. Okay,
Mhm.
and then I'll pass to you with River.
All right. This team is gonna probably still get destroyed by Mega Metagross. I don't know what I can do at this point to fix that. But that's just the reality. Oh wait, no, this is the pick. We need a fire type. We're offense. We have screens. It's Darmanitan, I think. He's just strong as shit, man. And yeah, when you have something in front of you like Metagross, sometimes the only answer is a fucking choice band Flare Blitz.
Yeah, that's fair. No, he's very strong. I will not argue that. Um, and this team.
This might be the most troll team on the board, but I would play it and not be mad about it. So
This team?
no, mine Rivers. Sorry,
Oh. Uh,
it's troll,
I
but
think
I
it's
would play
good.
it and not be mad. So yeah,
I think it's good. Uh, this team is tough to pick for though. Maybe
it's got a lot. Just look at type charts at this point, man. Like you don't have a fighting type, you don't have a dark type.
Yeah.
When they're already so solidly constructed, you're just trying to add more looks.
There aren't many good fighting types on the board.
Fair.
I guess actually Conkeldur's pretty good.
He's like UUBL. He's just got a 140 or something attack. It's hard to
And
argue with.
he makes some sense here, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Continuing to snipe picks from the stall team. um, for Kevin's team, I think we have a good electric type. It's not really solid fighting type. We have a lot of flying. You know, this is. Oh no, I can't do that.
Really?
Uh, it's just. Yeah, I think you convinced me by saying really. It's just a little. I think it's a little awkward with Scizor, but in the games where Scizzor's not going to be good, like, do you think Mega Heracross will be good?
Well, I don't think you need a Mega Scizor every game.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm just like, would I ever? Yeah, sometimes you just need a breaker, huh? There's not really anything with that raw instant power here. We already have speed tiers covered. Yeah, I'll send it. Mega Heracross is the pick.
Okay. And now we have another team that definitely isn't committed to the Pinsir Mega, and maybe having another solid Mega here. I guess you could also take Crocodile, just because.
It's a ground type.
I mean, realistically, it's probably Wheeling though, right? I want to take Manectric, just because I think Manectric is actually really good. But like, I don't
Yeah.
know if Manectric is good in hyper offense like this. I feel like it's maybe more of a balance mon, but it's probably not bad. I don't think this team needs Galvantula or has matchups necessarily that necessitate Galvantula. I guess fairy types can be a problem for this team. Maybe this is the Nidoking team. Okay.
Yeah, and it's a ground type. I see the fit.
Alright.
All All right, with Auden here, we're stall. I think this mon is kind of he can be. Ooh, you know what? I don't know why I didn't pick that guy last time. It's a little late now. We're gonna get cooked by like really fast psychics. So like Superior is eating this team for lunch. Well, I guess that's what kind of Altaria is there for, but you can't really kill him back. Alakazam is eating this team. I think I'll take Manectric. We don't have an electric type, and it's just a strong. I think these stall teams generally. I'm not the most experienced stall player, as you could tell, but I think they generally need something like that is fast. At least one of them on the team, and something that's strong. And Manectric is both, and it's dropped out a far ways for how strong
Yeah,
it is.
for sure. It's definitely a very strong Pokemon. Something that you're scared of on the bench. Something that you still have to consider in the team builder when you're
Yeah.
preparing. Here's another one that doesn't mind a fighting type. I don't think that Chestnut is the move though. Here.
I think Lucha might be. I keep
Oh
pushing
yeah,
Lucha.
yeah, yeah. Actually, you're totally right. I think Hawlucha is awesome here.
Yeah.
I think Hawlucha comes to a ton of games with this team. Okay. And now you on the last pick, and
All right.
then you
And
get.
then we and
I
then
guess
we
you get to
fill
take
in.
4 Pokemon here.
Yeah. I think for this kind of weird offense, we have a lot of the common attacking types. One that's kind of blatantly missing is our dark type, and there's not too many of those good ones left. So I'm never going to use Mega Absol, I don't think, so I think I'll just stick with Crocodile. And then to fill out this team, we're just going to take some of the more, I think, weird threats, basically. Ones that can, like, uh, basically just matchup fish. And, like, if they have a good look, then you can get them in, and they'll do a lot of work. Um, so, like, if they... Ooh. I think like something like it's not on the board, but Camerupt with the Mega could be good just because like you don't have. I think this team could really lean into like what's it called, Trick Room if it wanted to. I didn't really draft that way, but like Diggersby's slow, Diance's slow if it's not. Never mind. I fuck it. That's a lie. But Daniel's team could be a Trick Room team. But yeah, we're just kind of at the bottom of the barrel. I gotta fill it in. I'm gonna throw.
Yeah, 35 seconds to pick 3 Pokemon.
For Pokemon? Yo, I didn't. All right, I'll throw I'll throw Scolipede on there just because it can match up Fish with Speed Boost. I'll throw another good fighting type in Machamp because it can absorb status. Basically, just anything that you see any value in can be good here. I'll throw another Magic Bounce Mon on in Espeon.
Okay. I will take Togekiss here.
Fairies are good.
I'll take. Don't say Ethan. That's actually probably the only thing that's more annoying than saying is saying don't say after you say
Probably.
This is so hard. I'm gonna
Yeah.
take Mind Chow?
Yeah. You just got a Lucha.
Galvantula?
You don't have an electric type?
Heliolisk?
I think that guy's just on there because of sun usage.
Yeah, there's no way that Pokemon's any good at all. Actually, this team doesn't have a good fire type,
True.
and maybe Chandelure is better still. Chandelure
Yeah. I mean, it
And
has a strong ass special attack. It's like 145. Nothing to scoff at.
Raikou has a high base stat total.
Yep. That's
All right.
exactly what I was looking at. All right, for the stall team, there's a couple crucial things that I need to shore up. Ditto is common on these to deal with the huge mega threats, the setup threats that you let get out of hand. You need a Ditto to come in there and imposter it. Gudra is a good grass immunity, and it's just different. It can match up fish, and that's something that you want at the end of this. And then I think Gengar. It's crazy that he went this far, but yeah, just Gengar to deal with some psychic types that might cause us problems. Otherwise, will be good.
I think that this is the beginning of Gengar getting power crept pretty
Yeah, yeah.
aggressively.
He still has levitate this gen, I think. Wait, no, he might be at curse body already.
This team is gonna take some funny shit.
Yeah,
And this is like kind of cheating, but
hey man.
because you're not like this is a little unrealistic, but
Well, yeah.
I'm just gonna take this rain core.
Yeah. No, this is a really. I mean, you already have. Like I was talking about this team's beginnings of it, but this team also has it. I mean, like the Keldeo for stab plus
And
the
the
electric type.
Latios.
Yeah, and then Latios can abuse a little too. So yeah,
Weavile doesn't
not a bad
mind
look.
being in rain. Anyway, yeah, okay, I'll pass to you.
And then you get Swampert, which is really like what makes it worth it. You need one of those dope ass Swift Swims, and he's the best. And you don't really have a great Mega anyway, so that's the perfect look for it. I think if you had taken, you probably would take Politoed first, right? And in that
Yeah.
case, this is taking Pelipper, because I mean I kind of want to look into it too, and I'm not
Does
enticed
it
by the
does
rest
it
of the board.
have? I don't think it has.
Is it the Gen 7 thing? You're
Yeah, I
right.
think it's Gen 7. I mean, Pelipper is obviously the way better rain setter. I would definitely
Yeah,
take
you
it.
probably would have taken him. It is 7 plus. My bad. In that case, there's not really another good one. I think we're probably just gonna go for optionality. I think, strong mons. I'm looking at Haxorus, man. It's got a big attack stat.
Fair.
I'm looking at someone that can match up fish. God, am I really gonna draft Pidgeot? It's UUBL. I think I will. And then we don't have a grass type, so I'm gonna draft Shaman.
You know, Mega Pidgeot is a Pokemon that I've never used
Same.
once in my life in any context.
Yeah.
I have no clue what that
No,
Pokemon
Tortoise,
does.
which is just Mega Pidgeot, but it's in base form. So maybe it's not the best pick, but I'm sending it, man. Fuck it.
All right, valid. Okay.
Look at the board.
The board is rough. This team doesn't hate sticky webs.
Yep,
I think Shuckle's the best sticky web setter.
he is. Galvantula is some fake ass like it has a higher speed stat, but it's not actually gonna kill anything.
Azelf is a good Pokemon, but kind of makes no sense here.
I mean, you have tanky Azelf and Jirachi.
Yeah. Uh, I have maybe a fairy type. What's the
Have we still not picked a Azumarill? Oh, we did.
is this the best fairy type on the board? I think so.
It's Slurpuff for Florges? I don't know. It depends.
Is it not Sylveon?
I think Florges is better than Sylveon.
Okay. I'll trust you. Actually, I guess yeah. That it's like what? Okay, sure.
It has worse wishes, I think, but yeah. It just is tankier, right? So it has more of a chance of fulfilling a role.
And this team also, I could see a world where it wants a Jellicent. If it's like wanting to, well, it doesn't have spikes. Snorlax. He's epic. All right, you go.
Um, all right, for this hyper offense, you took Shuckle. I was gonna pick Shuckle. So I guess I'm just picking Galvantula. It's it's nice to have sticky webs up versus with Gallade and Darmanitan and Crawdaunt. So yeah, even superior if you don't want to run Scarf. And then I think we have Fairy. We need a ground type. Oh God. Well. Oh, this thing can maybe do some damage with webs up. It's just basically weaker Nidoking. It's Nidoqueen. And then we have River would pick some shit like this.
Houndoom. Rivers Classic. Porygon Z. I actually don't hate it.
Yeah, right? I mean, it has matchups.
This team has a really good Firewater Grass Core. This seems really good, actually. I like this
Yeah, right?
one. Doesn't need much. I guess it just probably wants to take best mon available. Does Kingar make any sense? Not really. I guess. Well, I guess Heliolisk actually makes some sense for this team.
With the Sun synergy, yeah. You don't have a single chlorophyll mon on the team.
Are there any good chlorophyll Pokemon?
Venusaur.
Hold on. Chlorophyll.
Yeah, I'm looking it up too. Oh God, there aren't. Oh, they're all ass.
Yep. They're
Yep, never mind.
garbage.
Yep.
I don't know.
Maybe
This
another
team
fire
really
type.
doesn't need melodic. Intake gets extreme speed, right?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
Intake, I have 59
Hell
seconds. And actually, I could see Porygon 2 being kind of useful.
Yeah.
I could also see Umbreon being kind of useful. Because it's the only
Yeah, you don't have a great Dark Resist.
Solid Dark Resist left. Okay, I'll pass to you.
Need it for the Weavile matchup. All right. Sand team, kind of balance also if we want. I think if we're not running Lopunny, it might be good to have. Oh, this guy's underrated. I don't know. He slipped a little far. Aerodactyl.
Yeah,
I'll pick up.
I agree.
He just has a great speed tier. That's underrated. And then just some general value. There's not much. There is not much. I'll get a water ground type. It'd be kind of stupid to not have one. Gastrodon, I think, gets Sand Force, so we'll throw that bitch on there. And then
Gastrodon gets Sand Force is crazy. I don't know about that one.
I'll just throw Aggron on here. Because Aggron's a good mon, it has a high base stat total. It's going to be pretty hard to kill that thing if you just want to pure steel type.
Oh, you know it's a Pokemon that like isn't on the board but is actually really good is Moltres.
Oh yeah. It has its matchups. If you want to draft it, I can get the image.
I don't think I'm gonna take it with this team.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna take it with my other team that I have left.
Well, it like instantly becomes top tier once heavy duty boots get introduced to the game. But until then, it is kind of limited. You do need things to enable it.
Yep. I guess Minechow is probably, I don't know, or actually maybe Lucario.
You have good fighting types. You're drafting Lucario on the Cavalion team?
That's a great point. Arcanine gets extreme speed. I don't know. V-Drill. He's really strong.
Yeah.
Maybe Crobat
You don't
is
have
kind of a
unnecessary
thing.
Mega.
Maybe Septile is kind of a thing. I don't know.
Sceptile cannot be a thing.
I
I
don't
don't
know,
know. Just
man.
fast. He is just fast and strong. Just send it, man. What do you
Yeah,
feel?
I'm feeling Septile. All right, your turn.
All right. This team needs a fairy. Sylveon's still on the board. This team needs a ground type. I mean, I don't know what the ground types available are really doing for it though. So maybe I just leave it. Um,
I think Seismitoad actually.
yeah, yeah, I guess if there's really nothing else,
I don't hate
and
Seismitoad. I
then
mean, you almost took Seismitoad in
I
like the
was,
fucking fifth
yeah, I
round or
was just, I
whatever.
just picked him up. Yeah. I guess just like amidst the barren field, he looks less enticing. And then I think, yeah, yeah, I just want to see this guy drafted, so I'm gonna put him here. Sharpedo got a mega, so maybe if you get a matchup that you
Hell
like,
yeah.
he can pop off.
Boss Torpedo. Um, this team, I don't know. Roserade doesn't have a grass. No, it does have a grass type. It's cute. I did kind of cheat taking Kyurem. That I did. That's arguably not allowed, but
What do you mean?
Kyurem's not a cute Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
uh, I would argue Arcanine's cute.
Yeah, Arcanine's a dog, man. I think
Yeah,
Jenny likes dogs. Jenny definitely likes dogs.
Azelf is cute. Maybe Slurpuff is the cutest though. Slurpuff is the cutest.
There's Quagsire too.
Oh,
Porygon
yo.
too.
I mean, Staraptor. Kingdra. I don't know. I have 9 seconds. Fucking Staraptor, man.
Hell yeah, the cutest bird.
The cutest word.
So as we've seen in this exercise, the draft kind of devolve after you get past like pick 6 or 7. Don't stress too much about it. Is what I would emphasize. But also, I mean, do try to pick things that complement your team. There are some reasoning behind some of the picks that we made.
Jenny's 8, 9, 10 is like there's nothing left. It's like
But
I guess
also, realistically, in my experience, and this was with bigger rosters, this was 11 Pokemon on the roster. You're most of the time you're going to bring the same 5, if not 6. So, like these, and granted that in this gen, the average level of Pokemon like has gotten higher. So, like Aggron, Sharpedo with a Mega at the end of the bench are definitely better than the people at the end of our rosters on the last season. But in general, once you have your core in place, the rest is less impactful for sure.
Yep. I agree completely. I am just.
Who do you think has the best roster?
That's a great question. I'd like to hear you analyze it as I notate the last few
Go for
picks
it.
of the draft.
So I think probably, I mean, there are ones that I would be most comfortable playing with, and be most confident if I played. I think that just the one you drafted for me with the Garchomp first is just very well balanced. Like there aren't really many holes in the team. Same for like Daniel's team that you drafted. I like that one's construction a lot. Some of the weaker ones probably are the I don't know, like because like these offense teams that I drafted with like Superior and Diancie, they can like I could see them winning versus most every team that just at a service level. I could see how they would have an angle to win most games. It's just
I think the
that
Serp one is pretty good.
yeah, it's just like they are that it's more matchup dependent, I guess. The games would be like 6-0s or 5-0s either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess that is the nature of offense.
Yeah, I think that probably the Mega Diancie team is my least favorite. But beyond that, I think that other teams are solid. Let me look at the ones that I drafted. I actually, strangely, I feel like I'm more aware of the teams that you drafted than the ones that I drafted.
Yeah, same. The other way.
Um, so the ones that I drafted, yeah, I really like the Garchomp first one. I think the Volcarona first one could have some issues. I'm not sure. I
It
really
looks a
like.
little weak. You're kind of relying on Latias to do a lot.
Yeah, I think the first four picks of Jenny's draft are
Very good.
stellar.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure how I feel about Victini and Kyurem, but also it's like, what is in that spot as an alternative? I'm not sure. I feel like those are just, like good Pokemon
Yeah.
abstractly. Max's balance team, like, I could
That looks
foresee.
scary.
You think it's scary? I guess maybe I'm underestimating the power of Volcanion, but
Yeah, I haven't really ever played versus a Volcanion, to be fair. But I mean, I just respect that like Jirachi and V. I like fat offenses, so it's just gonna look good to me, you know.
that's fair. But yeah, I mean I do like the
I really like Kevin's team too. I think it's pretty well built. It
yeah,
doesn't
I
really
like
have
Kevin's team as
great
well.
fairy. That's the main thing, but it's got hazard control. It's got speed. It's
Yeah,
got everything you want.
I think that one is very good. I agree. I am inclined to agree. I think the yeah, it just is a really annoying team to deal with, honestly, with Scizor and
Mhm.
Rotom, and yeah, our Tornadus is also. I mean, Tornadus in round 5 is super solid. I think my favorite is the one I drafted for you, which I think is kind of
Same.
funny because I I was like kind of I wasn't sure what was gonna happen after the first 3 picks, but I think that getting Slowking Amoonguss is like was just like, oh wow, that's like
Yeah.
the dream after you pick Charizard. Uh,
Yeah. I
so
just remember on draft night for the last season, I was just sitting there watching everyone's picks go down, and I'm like looking at my little board, and I had like a list of Mons with Regenerator, and I was just watching none of them get picked, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way I get all of them. But yeah,
well,
just
that
even
that's
two is
that's
enough for
that's not my
four.
style personally.
No, I
I'm
get
I'm
it.
more of an offense player. So I like Chris's draft the best. Like that's the one that I want.
Good one to play. Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like fun for sure.
Um,
I think that the start of the stall draft, I mean, that's kind of what you want, right? Like Clefable probably wouldn't be R1 B1, or it wouldn't be the first pick if you were trying to just like only draft stall. But I think it's worth a first round pick, and I like how Bisharp and Hippowdon fit around it. I don't know if I necessarily built out the rest of the core that well, or the roster that well,
I
but
do
I do
wonder
like the
if you
start
should
of it.
have taken Venusaur in round 4.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest mistake is getting Venusaur sniped like when it's so clearly the best stall mega. If you like even by round 2, I was thinking about stall, so I should have definitely prioritized that because no one's gonna snipe. I mean, Hippowdon was also in demand, so I'll defend that pick a little, but
Oh
Alomomola
yeah,
probably
hundred
not.
percent, 100%. I, I, I would have taken Hippowdon, um, with one
And
of
then
the pit
Venusaur.
with the no in the Excadrill team certainly. Not that they're
Yeah.
particularly close, but like Hippowdon wouldn't have been there at 4.
Yeah.
Is the point? If
Yeah.
you don't pick it there, so I think it makes a ton of sense. I think it's interesting, but yeah, this is an important thing for you guys to know. It's like we definitely made mistakes here, and
Just
you
one different pick in an early round will change the entire shape of the rest of the draft. So,
yep. Oh, I like Jacob's team as
mhm.
well. I like that team a lot. But yeah, so please do not take what we have done here as like the end all be all. This must be what your teams look like. You have to take Landorus T fourth, Jacob. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's there, Jacob, you really probably should. But beyond that, if you want to take
Chomp is
Scizor
arguable,
earlier,
If you
yeah.
want Garchomp over Lando T, that's fine.
If you want, Keldeo was what? 13, 14, 15, 16th
Like 16,
Pokemon
yeah.
off the board. If someone
want-
took Keldeo top 3, I wouldn't bat an eye. It's like, that's a great Pokemon.
So yeah, it's all arguable and it's all variable. So as long as you are comfortable and like know what you like, have an idea of what you want to do. That's the main thing. If you have a vision in your mind of your team and what you need, and you're thinking about that, it's going to be better than if you're just picking ones you like. And that's really all we were trying to get across.
But also, dude, pick Pokemon you like.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it more if you have Pokemon you like on the team. But it is important to balance them. We tried to give everyone a good team, and I don't
it's
think
not
I
like
necessarily
just
succeeded
should be
everywhere.
picks.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think that hopefully we at least gave you guys some interesting things to think about, given your positions, or maybe like Garrett, if you are really dead set on taking Volcarona 3rd overall, you're kind of locking yourself in a hyper offense, and that's okay. But it's something that you need to be thinking about. You need to be thinking about Pokemon that can support Volcarona, and I think that we did end up with a pretty solid hyper offense draft here, at least with the first 5 picks. But yeah, I think that this was a good exercise, and I hope that you guys have found it helpful in hearing me and Dean's thought processes.
If not, at least entertaining. I had fun.
I had fun, absolutely. But yeah, I guess that's my main closing remarks. Is there anything that you have left to say to the contestants of PSL Season 3?
No, I mean if they made it through all this, it's been 3 hours, so salute, and hopefully you were listening and someone can come take this crown from me, because it's getting heavy, man.
It's true. Dean is the back-to-back champion, and we have to put up a fight this season, guys. We gotta take it from him. But also, it's okay if he wins it again. I just want to let you guys know that Dean's a really good Pokemon player. All right, thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah, thanks for having me.